Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SEN Live. A lot of people didn't know this yesterday, but it's the Schmoedown Entertainment Network. Thank you for joining us here on this Friday, the 10th of July. It doesn't really matter what month it is, because if you're at home with children, you're losing your fucking minds. All right, so joining us on the show, RB3 is here. Hello, RB3. How you doing?
Hey, how y'all doing, everybody? Thank you for having me.
Good, man. So if Backstage can be called a propaganda show for the Finstock Exchange, SEN turning into the swag podcast as we have Winston Marshall here. But also
you want to change the music up and put on the best theme song of all time? Because I'm about it.
Because the only reason that there can be an argument against this is because you got three members of the Den here. You got Ben Goddard.
Oh.
You got Mr. Brett Sheridan.
Hello.
The mother of the Den herself, Mulligan, is here.
Hi.
And Riley's cleaning up a lake in his house. So,
you missed. We have a rap for it. There's a leak in the bedroom.
Leak in the bedroom.
In the bedroom.
In the bedroom.
Well,
and a leak in
the bedroom.
That's a good song. Yesterday, Rocha
yes,
wrote me and said, "Hey, Riley can't do it. I'll step in." Because Rocha loves the camera. I'm to Rocha's a helpful person. There he is, everybody. John,
I just love being on here. It's a fun morning. I'm excited. I don't need extra members of the Finstock Exchange. You only need one member. We represent everything, so it's fun.
I have so much to ask you about all that. And we'll do it in a little bit because we have a lot to talk about today in the world of movie news. And I'm going to start off really quick. So much to ask you. Hey, about. Shut up, me. We're gonna bring up the big story that's going on right now, and it dropped this morning, and there was rumors that Matt Reeves was working on something television wise, and now he is, and he's got this Gotham PD series, and it's Matt Reeves and Terrence Winter, and it's ordered for HBO Max. This is a massive story. This is such a big story because there's so many questions that come out of this story. There's so many questions, like the first being, well, we know that what HBO Max is doing now to combine, finally using the DC IPs that they have, making like this big series out of it, connecting it to films, which says it's going to be connected to the Batman movie. But then that's the question is how many different, no complaints here, but how many different timelines are they going to have? And is this a new kind of start of a DCEU? John, you hear the news. Yeah. What do you make of all this?
I was incredibly excited when I saw the news break. Boris Kidd over at THR breaking it. Fantastic stuff because, a lot of people didn't like Gotham because they felt like they thought they were going to get that GCPD series that a lot of us loved coming out of that comic book series, which was fantastic. But it didn't come out to be like that. It was way too off-kilter and crazy and whatever. So having Matt Reeves step in and doing this with Terrence Winter, by the way, both of us, I think, Kristian, are fans of Boardwalk Empire. They're going to bring a gritty, grounded, dark approach to GCPD, to the Gotham City Police Department there, and that's going to work so well. And there are a lot of great, rich stories to tell out of that comic book series, so I'm excited by this, but it also tells you that HBO Max is slowly putting this thing together and figuring out what works for them, what doesn't. I think DC Universe is on a time clock now before they shut that whole streaming app down and bring everything over to HBO Max. But once again, this is just a powerful move, and Matt Reeves being in charge of this, I don't know who starts to move into what position here. Also, Kristian, who's going to be in charge here of the entire universe? Who's going to be their Feige? Is it going to be Matt Reeves? Are they angling him? Well, I thought it was James Wan.
But that's the difference, though.
What's going to happen?
But that's the difference because, if you're tying it into this particular set of movies, then it will clearly be Matt Reeves who will be running this side of it because it doesn't have to tie into any other movies. Like when you have the Kevin Feige's of the world, when you're doing this, it's got to tie into the entire MCU. This right now, for what we know, is it just needs to tie into the Batman. So why not let the creative force be Matt Reeves? Because that makes sense because he knows how it's going to tie it in. I think this is a brilliant move. I think it's a very smart move to market your film as well as starting because of the fact that it's going to be on HBO Max. They're going to have a good enough budget, and I think they, like you said, John, they can be gritty. I love the news. Winston, you're a big Batman guy. What do you think about this?
I mean, I'm always excited about any additional Batman properties that we're going to get into one way or the other. I was not a fan of Gotham. I did watch the entire thing because I'm that person that unless it is a complete an utter train wreck. If I'm involved, I'm involved. And so it was just passable to watch. So I watched it, and they got better by the end, but it was just a shit show. So I'm not going to lie. I'm a little scared about watching another show about the Gotham Police Department. But to be honest with you, I like everything I've seen from Matt Reeves so far, with the exception of Robert Pattinson deciding he doesn't want to work out. I have agreed with.
Yeah, and that's changed. But even that's changed too. He'd step back on those comments. But you know, the Winston makes a great point, and that's I think that if it was announced again, like on CW, or it was announced somewhere else, and it wasn't announced with Matt Reeves, I wouldn't give a shit about this show. But the fact that Matt Reeves is doing it, the fact that Matt Reeves is connecting it to the Batman, the fact that it will be gritty, the fact that it will be on HBO Max, I think that people should be optimistic about this show and not skeptical because of past shows, because you didn't have that leadership in the role. Everything's about leadership. Everything, from doesn't matter what it is, entertainment to politics, whatever it might be, leadership is the key. And this guy has proved that he is the right leader for the jobs that he's been on. I mean, I love the first Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and then Rupert left. Matt Reeves comes in. I go, I don't know. We had Rupert. He was doing a great job. And Matt Reeves took over, and he made 2 and 3. And I think 2 is the best out of the 3 of the movies anyway. Goddard, what do you think about this?
I like it. I didn't watch Gotham, but I know that people like the idea of Gotham. But then when it came out, everyone was like, where's Batman? Like, I want to see Batman. Like, you know, it's Gotham. It's Batman. So I'm wondering, you know, I love, like you said, Matt Reeves, like, the Planet of the Apes trilogy should be up there with some of the best trilogies, like, in history. I love those movies. And also, I'm just wondering, like, it's not technically universe building, you know, they're not taking set photos like the Dark Universe did, but are they overreaching already? Because they've already said they want a Matt Reeves Batman trilogy, or, you know, 4 films or whatever. Now they're making a series again before the movie comes out. So, yes, in a vacuum, I love Matt Reeves. I love the writer of Boardwalk Empire. I feel like that's a great combo. For making a Gotham City PD show, but are they doing too much again? Like, is this Warner Brothers putting the cart before the horse?
See, I don't think so. I think that I don't think that's an unfair question to ask. I think that's, you know, when we were just talking about the other day with the Mummy and all of that, and how they announced that monster universe way before they should have. It's Batman, right? It's different. It's a different IP, and it's also we've seen what the DC fans have rallied behind. Just look at this, the hype behind the Snyder Cut.
Yeah,
you're giving them a series now. Star Wars has a series. Marvel has a series. They don't have a series. You're giving the DC fans a series now on HBO Max. And I'm not talking about, you know, I know they've had series on CW and all those other things, but you finally, like, we've talked about how when you put them on the streaming service, and the other one, I guess, is the one that they have.
Doom Patrol.
Doom Patrol's the other one too.
Doom Patrol. So good. Doom
Patrol, for what the people talk about. People love Doom Patrol. People love Doom Patrol. I haven't watched it yet, but I'm talking about when you put it on HBO Max. You know, because even though the DC service for those fans are doing great, it's a bigger stage. It's a bigger stage, and you get. I mean, because I was just reading something about The Sopranos the other day, and what Sopranos did for streaming shows in general. This is a big thing for DC. So I think it's going to do very well, and I think that it also. I think what it shows is that they have a lot of confidence in what Matt Reeves is doing with the Batman and his take and his overall plan. So I think this is a very smart move. RB3, do you agree?
I think it's a smart move, only, you know, mainly because of Matt Reeves, and, you know, he's such a creative and such a genius. The only thing I get a little worried about is, are we going to get, like, Batman burnt out pretty soon? Because, like, at least for me, like, I watch Harley Quinn already, which is the animated show, which is about Harley Quinn, but features a lot of Batman. Joker obviously just became a hit. Now we're seeing the new Batman trilogy, as well as the Michael Keaton Batman coming back. So it's like we're getting so many different Batman, so many different Batman interpretations. I almost kind of wonder if people are just going to, like, kind of check out eventually. I hope not. I mean, I hope this is a good enough story that it kind of just stands on its own. The main thing I'm curious about is if Robert Pattinson is going to play a role into this. And it might be a small role. He might only show up for a couple episodes here and there, which I would be down for, but I think it'll probably focus more on like the Jim Gordons and all that kind of stuff. So
and I think it sets up the crime elements. What it could do, it could introduce new villains. It could do. There's a lot that it could do, especially if it becomes popular. But I agree with you, Arthur. I would like to see Pattinson like show up, but I wouldn't want to see him be prominent. Almost like what Darth Vader did in Rebels, right? Like he shows up a couple times, but when he does, it's very impactful. He works with Gordon, so I'm down for it. I'm pretty excited for it. I think it could be pretty good. I will tell you that and I know maybe I'm in the minority. I get you. I bet you I will be. But like the WandaVision show as compared to this, give me this all day long. Give me this all day long. The WandaVision thing, and I know that it's going to be explained more. With how I guess it ties into alternate universe, and I could be wrong about that show. I saw the teaser trailer at D23, and I couldn't give a shit about how corny that fucking show looked.
All right.
It looked corny. Yeah.
This is also interesting, Kristian, because like this obviously has been happening for quite some time. Because just on July 6th, Reeves moved his overall deal with 20th Century Television over to Warner Brothers. His overall multi-year pack deal. So he's going to do that. He's going to do all this stuff. He's going to be connected with Netflix for doing his films.
Cheryl_Dick_Pants donated $20. Yo, Rocha, it's pretty quiet in the background. Did you finally let Bibbs out of your basement?
Nice. Speaking of which, thank you to Cheryl Dick Pants, who lets us know that this is the Friday show. It's the last show of the week. So would you guys, if you want to see this crew come back and the way that we've been doing it lately for the last couple of weeks, thank you to RB3, we're able to have the crew come back. But the crew does cost some ducats. So in order to bring them back, make sure you get up.
Red 2 donated $20.
Thank you.
Hey, you lovable schmucks. Lost my job this past week due to the pandemic.
Oh, sorry.
Don't worry, it sucked. But with the time I binged the Karate Kid series and Cobra Kai. And I have a theory. I believe Miguel is Terry Silver's lost son from Ecuador.
Wow.
Your thoughts? Bob B. Mitchell donated $20. My anxiety has been really high during COVID, and listening to you guys has provided me some needed laughter. I sent in the Winston side piece Schmoebot the other day, and I've replayed your reaction over and over. I'm happy to return the favor of laughter.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
And just so like those
Put me on blast. It's scaring the shit out of me. Jesus Christ.
We won't. Those two gentlemen just did the Schmoebots. They're going to be on for the entire episode. So please keep them coming throughout the show. We'll be here from 10 to 12. They help tremendously. It helps us. The donations are what keeps the show running. So it is streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown. You can put in just questions. We'll get into that too if you want to talk about the Gotham series. If you want to talk about any of these other things that we're going to be talking about here today, please let your voice be heard. Kate and Brett, do you guys do you give a shit about this show?
Well, I was going to say, you probably are saving the most intelligent responses for the last.
Yes.
So, this is what I will say. I am excited about all
Marshall
shows.
Weeks donated $20. I love
Thank
Matt
you,
Reeves,
Marshall.
but Terrence Winter gets me excited for this.
Yeah.
A Gotham PD series from the writer and producer of Boardwalk Empire and The Sopranos. Are you kidding me? This is going to be phenomenal. So
I agree.
Rocky IV director's cut is happening, eh? Hey, Brett.
Hello. Yeah, that's where. See, I'm just chomping at the bit to get to that Rocky IV director's cut. This is all just kind of fodder till we get to the real news.
Yeah.
And my checks come from the MCEU, so sorry, I don't talk about DC.
I was just gonna echo what Marshall Weeks actually ended up saying much better than I did. I love I can't think of a show on HBO that I haven't liked. But if it's HBO Max, I guess there's some wiggle room. But I'm talking about HBO, like HBO as the network. I just feel like they only put out good television.
You like John from Cincinnati? Did you like John from Cincinnati?
That show,
I guess I didn't see that one.
That show had potential. It turned out to be a shit bomb, but it had potential.
It's a jazz
I just think
show.
if you look at any other network or cable network or whatever, if you look at their, there's deviation, like not there's variance and like. Yeah. It was amazing, but this show is terrible. HBO for me is just like, so you're telling me Terrence Winter's gonna do a show about a paper bag? I'm like, yes, I'm gonna watch it. Like, I don't like. So, am I a Batman person per se? No, not necessarily. But like, am I gonna watch the show 100%? You kidding? No question.
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped. So we'll be there'll be a lot of updates on this show. So stay tuned on it.
Did you guys watch all of Boardwalk Empire?
No, I know I've never seen it.
Oh, what?
I know.
Shit.
John, is the last season worth? Because I never saw the last season. Is the last season great?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'm a completionist. I need to finish that.
One last thing I want to throw in, Kristian. J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves worked together, I think, on Felicity. So this could be a
Not
thing.
just Felicity. Not just Felicity, Cloverfield.
Yeah, Cloverfield. So this could be a thing where, like, those two are going to be kind of pseudo in charge of an entire universe. Because there have been rumors that they're going to redo Justice League over Rebirth. There's no foundation necessarily officially to those rumors, but there have been rumors floating around that that's a possibility.
It's a fantastic point, John, because the thing nobody's really has been talking about that. Well, if they were, I haven't talked about it yet on the show where we J.J. Abrams has been rumored to do his own Superman movie, maybe because he wants to do his own Superman movie and make that tie up to the timeline of what Matt Reeves is doing in the Batman, the partnership, and the friendship that they have. So it's a great point. We haven't really talked about that. Reeves and J.J. could have been, in the word that we bring back here, Brett Cahoots. They have maybe they've been working together behind the scenes and figuring out how to do this. So that's an interesting point. Great point. So, yeah.
Also, my point about a paper bag was pretty good too, right?
Yeah,
amazing. One of the best. One of the things that I did want to do before, unless someone else from the crew has seen it, I watched Palm Springs last night. Anybody seen it?
Oh shit! Right. Sabrina had seen it, but she's not on.
She's not on the show because Winston stole her spot today.
She saw it and she wrote a review for Geeks of Color, so make sure you check out.
Oh, Jesus. Well, we'll see if her and I are on the same page. So I watched this last night with my wife. This is the movie with Andy Samberg. Let me get the full cast up here too. I want to give you Palm Springs. It debuted at Sundance, is where the movie debuted, and I didn't know a lot about this movie. And Camila Mendez is in this movie. Kristen Milotti though she plays Sarah. It's her movie and Andy Samberg's movie. Do you guys know anything about this movie?
Christian's huge package donated $50. Christian's huge package here. Good to see everyone today. Hey, Rocha, thoughts on Rocky IV extended cut? Oh, hi, Brett.
We don't need it. We don't need it.
Lawson donated $20. Just want to say thank you for the laughs during the pandemic and through my sister's breast cancer treatment. She is doing well. Thoughts, prayers, and positivity are very welcomed. Much love to the Schmoedown community.
Well, you got the thoughts and the prayers.
Did you tweet something? Is that why people are coming after her for this?
No, but anybody who watched the show yesterday, believe me, Rocha,
you were mad about it. Okay.
No, I wasn't mad, and not for you. I until today, but I thought that I thought you were going to be on my side about actually wanting the Rocky IV Cup because you pretend that you're a Rocky fan. So I thought that you were
a Rocky fan. You'll find out in the exhibition match when we go at each other for that belt. But like, I just don't see the point of like that movie is so perfect, exactly how it is.
Perfect.
What are you gonna need more for? Are you pipe down there, Geeks of Color? What are you gonna need more? What more do you need from that Rocky IV? What more do you need?
You're a dumb person. All right, so listen. So we're gonna.
What a terrible! Do you want more of that terrible speech at the end? Do you want more of that terrible speech at the end?
Yes, I do. And I want more of a music. I don't want more of a music video. I'd like to actually see a story this time.
There is a story. There's an evil Russian who killed Apollo Creed, and Rocky's getting revenge. What more do you want?
You're not allowed to watch it then when it comes out.
Oh man.
RB3, can we just turn the Schmoebot off for a second here while we do this review? Because I want to get to this review here. This is the Palm Springs movie review, and Palm Springs debut.
I have heard of this. Sorry, it's Groundhog Day.
Thanks, Schmoebot. So let's try this again. The movie review is Palm Springs. It debuted at Sundance. And it has Andy Samberg in it and Kristen Milotti, who I never heard of. I mean, maybe I'm just don't. I didn't know Kristen Milotti very well. I know she was in Wolf of Wall Street and How I Met Your Mother, but I'd never really seen her in a starring thing before. She is fantastic in this movie, and so is Andy Samberg. Their chemistry is off the charts. The movie, it's essentially Groundhog Day with two people. And what happens is that Andy Samberg has been going through this time loop at this. He's been at this wedding with this girlfriend that he's, they're not really into each other, but he keeps going. We don't even know how long he's been in this time loop. We have no idea how it's been happening, but Kristen Milotti gets sucked into it with him. And they are trying to figure out, how to live this life, and is there a way out of it? It is a shorter movie. It's about an hour and a half. But it's full of laughs. It has a lot of heart. It has meaning. I really, really loved this movie. I know that it's not saying much because there hasn't been a lot of movies this year, but I would say it is definitely my favorite movie of the year, of what I've seen so far. It is, I mean, it hasn't been a lot of movies out, but I loved this movie. When you say what? You haven't seen the thing, you dopey.
Over the Invisible Man? Come on.
Yes,
hard to believe.
I like the Invisible Man. The different movies as far as tone goes. But what I enjoyed better, I enjoyed this movie better. And it's not that I loved Invisible Man. Thought Invisible Man was great, but this movie is just it's intelligent. It is Andy Samberg is very charming in this movie. I've been waiting for him to do a movie where he's going to show what we got from him and why we kind of fell in love with him during Saturday Night Live. There's been a lot of movies that he's done. He's been very good in, and there's been some, he's obviously been in successful series and goofy comedies. What he does in this movie, not as serious, but like what I liked about Jim Carrey in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind was that I felt like I got a lot of Jim Carrey's personality in that movie, like who he really is. And I feel the same way with Andy Samberg in this movie. And I can't say it again how much I think that both Andy Samberg and Kristen Milotti are just so good together, and you can't leave out J.K. Simmons, who has a role in this, and every time he shows up, he steals the scenes like he does in everything else. But this is it's available on Hulu. I strongly recommend it. I think it is it's a feel good movie. It's a funny movie, and it's a smart movie. And if you like Groundhog Day, it's not like, because when I saw the trailer, I'm like, is this just like kind of a ripoff of Groundhog Day? I mean, the premise is very similar, but there's a reason why behind it, and there's other things that happen. So I highly recommend it. If I was going to go with I'm going to go 4.6 out of 5 schmoes for
Wow.
I love it. It's a great movie. It's directed by Max Barbakow. Max Barbakow, who directed it, who I guess let's see what else Max has directed. Max also directed
the Rocky IV
he did. He absolutely did. I don't know what that joke bombed. So there was
we don't know if we're allowed to talk yet.
He's done smaller stuff, but I think that this is all going to be a breakout thing for all of them. Can't wait to hear you guys. I can't wait to hear you guys' thoughts, both the audience and the idiotic crew that I have on this show.
Hey, if you would have texted us, I would have watched it last night. But instead, I watched one of the most disturbing episodes of Happy I've seen today.
Oh, really?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh my God. It just gets, there's some stuff. I was just like, my eyes.
Really?
Yeah. This was
worse than the microwave scene.
Well, that's disturbing in one way. This was in a different way, and oh, brother. Yeah.
Kate, have you ever watched The Office?
Yeah.
Like, you remember the CPR one when Creed just, like, everything's going to shit, and Creed goes, I know you, you're from the parking lot. That's exactly what you did when you're like, oh, I have heard of this movie.
Goddard, I think you're going to love this movie.
I know, like, Sabrina brought it up, when we did Cocktails and Casting, she used Andy Samberg, and she's like, I just saw Palm Springs, he's so good in it, and then she brought it up sometime this week in the 2 shows she's been on, too, so I've been looking forward to this. I thought it's not on VOD, it's already on Hulu for free?
Yeah, it came out. It's a Hulu original movie.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, I'll watch that this weekend for sure.
So both that. What's the Tom Hanks World War II one?
Destroyer.
Greyhound.
Greyhound. Thank you. That came out. That came out last night. They both came out at the same time. It's funny because it officially comes out July 10th, which is today. But last night we're waiting. Like, I guess we'll watch these tomorrow. And then my wife got a notification on Apple that Greyhound had just come out. And I go, wait a minute. Oh, it's because it's East Coast time.
Right.
I was like, let's check Hulu and see if Greyhound. I mean, excuse me, if Palm Springs is up. And we did, and it was up. And it's just an enjoyable movie, man. It's like the way they do certain things are very creative. Kate, I think everybody here will really like it. It's a good flick.
And that's on Apple?
Hulu.
Hulu.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Greyhound. Sorry.
Greyhound's on Apple.
Okay.
On Apple, and then
I'm jazzed about Palm Springs.
Yeah,
I really
that
love
Charlize Theron one, the Old Guard on
Guard,
Netflix.
yeah.
Oh, and that's on Netflix also. So there's a lot of stuff to watch
today.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to watch this weekend. But
I'm okay with that.
moving over.
I'm actually writing these down.
So how's the camera hooking up going, Winston? Let's check it on Winston.
I'm so glad we're getting a window into you hooking the camera up right now.
I literally heard.
Could have woke up at 6 a.m. and did it, but no, let's do it during the show.
Bitch, first of all,
Bitch, you don't call me no bitch.
It showed up at my door at 9 o'clock this morning.
So then you wait like a human being should and not hook it up during the show. Bitch.
Look me in my eye. Look me in my eyes, ho. Look me in my eyes, ho. Do it. Fucking do it. I don't even know where the fuck you live, but I will show up at your door with the wrath of God. I swear to Jesus.
I'll give you my address. I'll give my address.
This is like two 60.
You better bring God.
This is like two 65-year-old boxers at a press conference.
Have you guys seen that video of the two British guys just like flipping each other off in the middle of the street and like right in their face? Like,
love that.
That's what this is.
Anka.
All right, moving on to before we get to our next story, I've been raving about this, and I will continue to rave about it. I always love and love all the sponsors that we have in the show, and
Cool Cat 88 donated $20. So
Okay.
yes,
Cool
Cinema
Cat.
Blend came out with Nolan's stance on Tenet, and yeah, it's not about money for him, it's about the movie theater experience on how he doesn't want them going away. I get it, but I don't feel safe going back even with all the precautions.
right.
Cool
Yeah,
Cat
it's
88
not-
donated $20.
Oh shit.
So
He's not
yes,
going to say it says.
Oh, it's the same one?
Yeah, same one. Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, okay.
so
He's not going to come out and say, it's about the money, guys. I need this box office money.
Guys,
I
it's
need my
never
Oscar.
about the money. It's about the art. Come on.
fair to him, the reason why he can do that is because he guy shits money, so so for him,
That's fair.
I believe, but I believe that he actually. But you know what I'm saying?
We can all relate. We can all relate to that.
Yeah, just the kind of thing.
Let's not talk nasty about Nolan, okay? Guy shits money.
What I'm saying is that's why he doesn't. That's what I'm saying when he says that about the money. He doesn't give a fuck about the money. He does about the art, I believe.
Okay.
But when you talk about it, though, it's just like, dude, it doesn't make sense. Don't do it. Don't put the fucking thing out there. But listen. But I was talking about the sponsors on this show are my. I am always excited to find new sponsors that work for this show, and I couldn't be more happy about Bulletproof Coffee.
Yeah.
I've told you guys about this. I've been raving about this, and I continue to rave about it because there's so much cool shit that Bulletproof does. And you can get the link in the description. You can get the link in the description right now. And Bulletproof, it's got really fantastic coffee. I've told you about that a million times over. You got whether it's the whole bean ground or the K-cups, they got it all. And it has health products like protein bars and fiber supplements. The cool thing is that the user experience that Bulletproof has, you can use smartphones. That's very fast and easy. You can use Apple Pay on an iPhone without entering your address or credit card number. Shipping is free for orders over $35. And shopping Bulletproof from the link below in the show notes here, it's a great way to support the show. I would highly recommend doing this because I know you're all coffee drinkers. A lot of people are coffee drinkers, and whether you're going out to the store to do it or you're ordering it from online. This is the way to do it. It's a great coffee. Check it out. Link is in the description. If you click on the link, get something, try it out, come back and tell us about it, how your experience was, because I'm very excited to hear how people start using Bulletproof. Other stories happening, Ben. What's some of the news stories besides Rocky IV extended cut? Because I know somebody stupid was going to make
Wait, there's other stories? I don't know. We've got Halloween Kills plot
You can
updates.
change.
I thought that was a plane outside my house. That was genuinely terrifying for a
I was
second.
gonna say, I was like, I feel like we've heard sirens on every
that was
single
Goddard's
stream.
joke diving.
Equally as terrifying, Christian.
Yes.
Equally as terrifying.
Next.
But just as common.
Yes.
Batman Sweaty Balls donated $20. Super excited about the Gotham PD show. I just hope it doesn't become a Batman villain origin of the week, and we never see Batman clash with them. Hopefully it'll expand on John Turturro's Falcone crime family possibly clashing with the Penguins.
That'd be
I
cool.
like that.
There's also a few Schmoedown that we missed during the review. So
Wanna play them again?
Cock donated $25.
Yes.
Yes,
Brilliant
Tupac.
news. Rocky IV Director's Cut will include a 25-minute post-credit scene where Rocky actually gets an endorsement deal from a company, thereby wiping Rocky V from canon.
Okay. See, I like that.
I'm good with that. I'm good.
I like
with
that.
You know, I changed my mind, Kristian. I changed my mind.
Guy doesn't get one fucking endorsement deal. What's the bullshit?
Brandon Dunlap donated $50. Hey guys, how's everyone? I
you,
missed
Brandon.
the beginning of the show today, but huge Batman fan. What's supposed to be the difference between this Gotham show and the one that aired on Fox? That ending left a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
You can do more. You'll be able to do more. It'll feel more cinematic. That's the biggest thing that I think will come out. Yeah, go ahead.
That's part of it. But for anybody that didn't watch Gotham, it was narratively a massive mess the whole way through. They got a little better, but they couldn't figure out what tone they wanted for 2
Curtis
seasons.
donated $20. Hi there, Scomes. Can we get Obama as Superman, Arnold as Batman, Chicago Kate as Wonder Woman, RB3 as Flash, Drunk Brett as Green Lantern, and Irish Rocha as Green Arrow?
No. Here, let me find a 20. What's your address?
Bitch, I'm gonna show up at your house with $20.
Resist Bleeding donated $20. This is because Harloff and Rocha keep threatening to kill the crew if they don't get Schmoebots. Finally watched Uncut Gems. I thought it was really average. What was it that you really liked about that movie? Thanks for all you do, Winston. How you doing?
Look, first of all, we are going to get to
Yes.
we will get to that Schmoebot of the impression. But Curtis, that was Curtis that asked that. But what was that one RB that they just said? Oh, Uncut Gems. So Uncut Gems. I'll tell you though, this person is not in the minority when it comes to the opinion on the average viewer's perspective.
Yes.
People who are what I've noticed. People who really enjoy film, who love movies, and who are caught up in all the, and I shouldn't say love movies, but are really into film, right? Seem to really love this movie. The just casual viewers. My friend James watched this because of my review, and he called me scathing. He was fucking pissed at me that he was mad. So was my mom. And my dad. Oh, I can't even tell you what my dad was. My dad, what a piece of shit that movie was. Same silly shit he does in
donated $20. To Five Bloods is the best movie of the year for me.
Yes.
Oh, so good.
I gotta finish it. I was loving it. I gotta finish it though because it's a long movie. It's like 3 hours. I gotta
Wait a minute. You made it through Irishman.
Irishman I saw in the theater when it was at the premiere.
Oh well, okay, that'll do it.
I couldn't leave. Scorsese and Pesci would have shot me in the kneecap if I left.
All I'll say about Uncut Gems, because I agree with you. I thought that I enjoyed it, but it's disorienting as fuck. My girlfriend came out ready. She came out ready to fight me, and we were on the elevator out of the movie theater, and another woman was there with her boyfriend and was like, the fuck you bring me to this stupid ass movie for? And my girlfriend was like, thank you. This shit was disorienting as fuck. She was like, I know, girl. Like,
Safdie brothers aren't for everybody. They're phenomenal filmmakers, but they're just not for everybody.
My girlfriend walked out of the room. We were watching it on the streamer. She walked out 10 minutes. She's like, I can't. This is bullshit. I can't. I said, what the fuck? And just walked out.
Yeah, people. This is the pure definition of love or hate. You either love this movie or hate this movie.
I'm middle ground because I
Thanks for being a fucking. You just want to argue, you son of a.
No. I mean that in. I was also disoriented the whole time, and I didn't like that, but I appreciated his performance. I thought that he actually did an.
Oh hell yeah!
He deserved a fucking Oscar nod for that because his performance was phenomenal, but it was disorienting.
I think people who don't like it at least agnowledge that Adam Sandler was great. In it.
Was great.
My dad hated him. I mean, he's like, he's on not necessarily his performance, but he's like, what am I supposed to like about that fucking guy? He's on. He's like, I'm rooting for the guy to get fucking shot in the head. He's like, he's nothing likable about the fucking.
There is nothing likable about that guy.
My dad.
Great news for your father.
Yeah, my dad cannot watch movies. My brother and my dad are the same. They cannot watch movies where people are not likable. at all. Even though they watch The Sopranos, but there's certain things that they could, that was what Sopranos did so well, is that even though there were some despicable people and stuff, for some reason, and that's what Gandolfini was able to do as an actor, is that like even though you shouldn't be rooting for Tony, you're still like, yeah, what? I feel bad that I don't want Tony to die. I want Tony to be all right. I want Tony. It's like it's weird how they were able to do that. So that one I'll give
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely right. But that is not the type of character that Adam Sandler.
Oh my God!
That's the thing, is that I really liked Uncut Gems, but I don't want to watch it on Netflix right now. I'm just like, especially like with everything else going on, I don't need to be like, the world's pretty crazy. Let me put on this 2 hours of stress.
I'm with you. I don't think I'd ever be able to watch it again, but I was still pretty fascinated. And I could not, and I understand exactly what they were going for. The first 20 seconds, 30 seconds with the music, it's enough for me to jump right out of my window. It is so, and they're doing it on purpose. They want you to, they're setting you in that mood of what the entire tone is. And I don't think Idina Menzel gets enough credit for she's phenomenal in that film. But anyway,
Julia Fox are great in that movie.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into what the hell were we talking about? What we had
Halloween Kills.
Winston. Oh,
sorry. Go ahead, Kate.
Well, no, I was gonna say Winston was saying something just before the Schmoebots came in. It was about the thing. Oh, guys. Well,
oh God,
it's been great radio. Sorry. I know Winston. Gotham. He was somebody had asked about the difference between Fox, the Fox Gotham show, and Winston was starting to say the narrative, and
it just all I was saying is that it was just a complete shit show. And so, but again, we've talked about the two people helming this. They're really good at bringing it all together. So I think that they'll be fine. But that's the main issue. I don't think it's necessarily the production value. It's just let's make sure we actually put a good story together. That's
your microphone over there.
Is it?
It was that a little choppy.
It was choppy for. I don't know.
What's up with your gardeners over there?
They just don't give a fuck right now. I already stuck my head out the window and being like, for real? And they don't.
What would be great if they really didn't give a fuck, if this wasn't an Adam Sandler movie, like the next shot of you is they would be behind you, like playing poker. just playing poker in the background.
He'd like take his camera with him, and it would be on stream, like him arguing with the gardener.
I can if y'all want me to. It'd be fun.
No, don't. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
About the Batman stuff, because I feel like they're doing a lot of year one stuff with this Robert Pattinson. I feel like Jim Gordon's story is also involved in year one of like him moving to Gotham, him dealing with dirty cops and stuff like that. So I want to save that for the movie. I don't really want to see that in the series. I don't know when they're taking place, so I could be wrong.
We could see both. I do, but when you put Terrence Winter in there, and because of the stuff that he has done on Boardwalk Empire and Sopranos, that it would make sense to really go after the mafia side of Gotham. That would be great. Who wouldn't want to see to really kind of dive deep in that? And the question is, what I think that what the viewer asked as far as the difference, right? Like what the difference would be in tone is how far are they going to push it? I mean, it's a comic book movie, but we've seen comic book movies. Look what Daredevil did, right? Yeah. Daredevil went pretty raw. Could they do that with this series? I
think so. And also, don't forget, Gotham is about Batman being 10 years old. GCPD is about Batman already existing in their world, and they're either assisting, getting assistance from him to solve crimes, or telling him to stay out of it as they try to solve crimes. If you've read the comic book series, so that's
massive.
Montoya, who is in Dark Knight, the one that turns on the cops. Montoya, she is a big part of GCPD, so that was their nod to her in the film. Yeah.
All right, so continuing on here. We're going to talk about these stories here, about some delays and other things, or not necessarily delays, but I think some more Halloween Kills news. But before we do that, just a reminder to everybody, keep those donations coming in here today, streamlabs.com/the We are going to be reading off your comments and other things, and Super Chat, by the way, please. If you put in your Super Chats, we'll be getting into those. And if you want to interrupt the show, you can do that with the Schmoebot. Simply go to streamlabs.com/the All right, Goddard, what were you were getting into the Halloween Kills stuff?
Yeah, we got a little plot details. After that teaser, it seems like Halloween Kills is taking place right after Halloween. Like, it's an immediate follow-up from I guess it's a Halloween 2 to the Halloween 2 after the second Halloween 2. Quote, it takes place the same night, picking up where the last movie ended. Events in the film bring together a lot of the characters who in the 1978 film who we didn't see last time. They gather to try once and for all to take down Michael to stop this madman. The first one was more about Lori's life of isolation after Michael and her attempts at revenge. It was personal. This is more about the unraveling of a community into chaos. It's about how fear spreads virally, end quote.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the way you got to do it. And I think that we knew from the little teaser that they dropped yesterday that this is exactly when it was going to take place, because they're in the ambulance saying, let it burn, which I loved. I'm pretty excited to see how they follow this up. I don't want this to... They do run the risk, depending on how many movies they do, to jump back into the same but the same thing that they did with the other Halloween movies. Is eventually it's going to become silly. And there's a scene that some people like that I hated with the doctor in the reboot that I thought was pushing on those boundaries and really fucking stupid. So I hope they don't do stuff like that in the next movie. I hope these movies go to like 2 or 3 and then that's it. Kate, did you wind up seeing the reboot?
No, I never did.
You're a horror fan in general, or not really?
I am. I'm a horror fan. I like sort of more. I actually really like foreign horror films.
Horror films, yeah.
I really liked the version of Let the No, but I feel like there's the Let the Right One In was like
that sounds ominous as fuck.
It's a Swedish. It's Swedish, right?
To Let Me In.
Then there was like an American remake of it, but
that's a good one.
Matt Reeves, right?
Yeah, but then there's another one. God, what was it called? But it's like it's about
Babadook?
it's like
The Grudge.
The Babadook's amazing, but there's one where there's the woman. It's like this. She plays this game with her, like the ghost of her daughter. It's like uno, dos, tres, toca Perez, like knock on the door. Do you remember this one? And it's so.
I don't like horror films. So,
it's so.
So, Kate, you didn't see the reboot?
Nope, did not see it. Well, the follow-up question, to my credit, in fairness, I shit money.
Yeah.
Brett, yes or no? Did you see the reboot?
I didn't see the reboot, but I know what's going to happen in this one. There's going to be clearly a stunt person in a fire retardant suit coming out of the house like this and rolling around in some leaves, and then they'll start the film. You know?
Yeah, that's true. I knew you were going to say that. I knew somebody was going to say that.
What?
You can't say Michael Myers anymore. Winston.
I didn't say Michael Myers.
No,
you idiot. You missed it. Fire retardant, you said.
Okay.
Winston, you can't say fire anymore. Winston, there's no chance you saw Halloween. You're too scared. Rocha, you saw this?
Yeah. It's sort of the screening we did that had. Yeah, I liked it. I didn't mind the doctor thing. I thought it was, I like the inventive. If you're gonna bring it back, do something new. And I thought the doctor thing was interesting as well. But I enjoyed the brutality. Like they didn't shirk from the brutality.
Right.
I mean, I love that about it. And so, but this picking up right where it left off, I'm like, okay. So then, like, are you just watching? Can you just watch this in a 4-hour block then? Like, I feel that's what I'm confused about. Or 3, yeah. Because there's a third one coming.
Yeah,
as well.
So it's
2022. Halloween ends. Or
Halloween ends. That's right. So they both got pushed back a year.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm cool with the trilogy. But the only problem with them saying he's got to live in this one, and don't tease me with another death this time because we know another movie's coming out. So I liked how kind of creative and creepy they were with the remake, and I liked how it did feel like they were really paying homage to the original. Like that tracking shot that they have in that scene when he first goes back to his neighborhood was brilliant. They showed that at Comic-Con, which was what sold me on it. But RE3, did you dig this one?
I dig the reboot a lot. I thought it was great. I thought it was a good homage to the original. And even though it's a little confusing that there's 3 Halloween movies that's literally just called Halloween, I'm totally down for it. But yeah, I them announcing a trilogy does kind of take the wind out of it a little bit because you do know he's not gonna die in the second one. But maybe they subvert the narrative. Maybe something happens that they switch something up, or maybe he does die, or maybe he ends up victorious by the end of the second one and it leads right into the third one. So you never know. I mean, maybe it's this is really the first time I've ever seen a horror trilogy be like so out there as a trilogy outside of like the Conjuring stuff, So I'm hoping that it could kind of get to that Conjuring tier of quality.
Yeah, me too. So this is this is going to be interesting to see. I think it's going to. I'm glad that they pushed it back for next Halloween. It's the only time the damn movie should be coming out is around that time. So let's move on to the next thing. Ben, what do we got?
Mandalorian gets a proper music video. I love this.
What did
A music video has been released for musician and composer Ludwig Göransson's score work on The Mandalorian. And rather than just relying on clips from the show, they've done something a little special. So they literally made a music video for the score. I haven't got a chance to watch it, but I love the score for The Mandalorian. And I mean, we have been joking about Rocky quite a bit. And he did he do the Creed scores?
Yes.
He did.
He did. So that's feels like the perfect combination for you, Kristian. Star Wars and Creed music video.
You know what I didn't realize? I knew how much Ludwig was involved with hip hop. I didn't realize how much he had to do with This Is America.
Oh yeah, no, him and Gambino have been working together.
I read
it's
that.
like the end of college. Like, no, they're super close, and so a lot of his production, they kind of grew up in that way. As Gambino became a better lyricist and a better artist making films. Ludwig
he's so good. I'm a massive fan of Ludwig, especially I was before, but even more so after watching that gallery series. Hey, Goddard, can you turn your mic up just a little bit? There's people that are just asking for you to do that. And then Rocha, you saw this video. What'd you think? What's wrong?
Burning Man? Is that what you're gonna say? Or
no, I liked it. I thought it was good.
Okay.
I mean, I wanted to be more wowed by it than I was, but I thought it was good for what it was. If you're going to be into it and doing what combining these two into what they are. So I like it.
I was not prepared for Rocha after that big sigh.
Kate Shit donated $20. Today I've spent a lot of time listening to construction workers bitching about our job site getting shut down for a day because of a COVID scare while they aren't wearing masks. Can I get Richard telling construction worker drunk Brett why he needs to mask?
Yes, we will do that. Let's what I'd like to do is somebody make a note, because last week we did this. We said we were going to save the impressions to the end of the show, and then we just didn't do them. So I don't want to do that again. So someone remind me, please.
So far we have two.
We have two. So we have two to do at. So
I'm gonna
make a note. Yeah. So at 11:45 we'll start doing any of the impressions that people ask. But once again, guys, streamlabs.com/Schmoedown. Get any questions in there, any topics you want to talk about, and obviously the Schmoebot is on. So Schmoebot away for the last show of the week. Keeps the crew here, keeps us going. So thank you very much for doing just that. One more reminder also, we have almost 1,000 people watching here today and only 252 likes. That's what we call on the classy side of things bullshit. So get us to at least 500. That's the goal, and it helps us in the algorithm, helps people find the show. And obviously there's a lot of people who are watching on Twitter and Facebook. We stream from different platforms now every day. Been really great finding a new audience. And another reminder that the Inner Geekdom tournament, it is in full swing, ladies and gentlemen. It is in full swing. Round 2, we had a match between the Barbarian and John Humphrey. That is on the channel right now. You can watch that match. And on today at 2 p.m. PST, you have Mr. Alex Damon. He is the Star Wars champion, but he is now a big 2-0 in the Inner Geekdom division. He goes up against Brandon Hanna with his new manager, announced yesterday in the Facebook group, the pit boss, Ken Knapsack.
I'm so happy you put that. Or I guess they voted on it themselves, but
they voted on it. Yeah, that's Ken. If you watch the video, I needed Ken's last vote. Really didn't matter, but I needed his last vote. He voted for the Warfather, and then he thought he was done. And I said, "Well, I just want to congratulate you. You're now the manager." He's like, "I didn't want to do it. I don't want to be manager." I told him it paid more, and then he said he agreed.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm just laughing because I saw how Brandon Hanna managed Ken during the tournament. I cannot wait for Ken's revenge. Revenge of the pit boss.
Did you see Hannah's tweet?
No.
He said great move, guys. Vote the guy who single-handedly made corruption take a nosedive. So it's like he's just his own faction.
Listen, I've been the Brandon Hanna defender on the show. Like I'm a Brandon Hanna enthusiast, but I think this one he took it a little too far, man. I mean,
going after finally went too far.
I don't know. I love it.
Bad news.
I love it. I don't know. Y'all silly. Brandon Hanna the man. That shit is hilarious.
Yeah, because you'd be enjoying it if Ace was like, I don't know if this guy's the right manager for me right there on Twitter. You'd be okay with that?
No. I mean, if that was the case, like me and Ace would have had a conversation privately about the fact that he was going to be an asshole. And then I would have been like, cool, you go for it. And I'm going to come at you and we're just going to hash this out. But like,
here's what I'll tell you though. I think though, I will tell you this. That watching this Damon and Hannah match today, I think I'm going to be able to hear the boos from the other side of the computer.
Especially against Alex Damon, who's like the nicest person ever.
Yeah, exactly.
I asked in the Schmoedown Facebook group that I really want to see reactions to this match, because if Hannah wins, the boos are going to be so crazy and so loud in the reactions, and if Damon wins, they're going to be so loud as far as the cheers go. So this is a very interesting match. It happens today. I recommend watching it. It does everything. It's a great match. It is. It's got the drama. It's got it all. So check that out.
Kristian, what kills me is that Brandon Hanna is like Kurt Angle heel era, where like he's trying to be an asshole, but he kind of can't. He's just got a nice boy personality that's saying mean things.
I think he's one of the best heels we've ever had.
No, I know, but I'm saying like the same way Kurt was like, you know what the problem is?
I got to get off the
drinking
show.
enough milk.
You want to know why? Do you want to know? Because both
there's no possible way we have words in the English language to explain that.
Both you and Andrew Guy are, although better performers, way better performers. If I put you in a live event, you get people to cheer you. People would cheer you. Because they liked even though they didn't like that you were the bad guy, they still cheered for you. No one is cheering for Brandon Hanna. That is the ultimate heel. That's what I'm talking about. You know that in wrestling, when you get like, so I'm not talking about performing and who does it well. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if we put up a live event right now.
Oh yeah, no.
And you put John Rocha from 2016 in a match, and you put Brandon
donated $100. Subscribe to Ben's Twitch. Hashtag Bandit Belts.
Oh my God.
Thank you.
Oh my God. Shameless, Ben. You're shameless.
Yes, that's what I've been doing this whole time, is going on Streamlabs and spending my own money.
Thank you, Steakhouse.
Thank you, Ben.
So Ben, being that you put that in there, I don't have to pay you for today's show.
You know who's not laughing at that? Ben. Everybody else found that shit funny. Ben is like, man.
He's like Lefty and Donnie Brasco taking the money out of the Christmas
Well, Winston,
card.
you joke about that. What's funny is that you said that. I looked up at the actual Zoom, and he is smiling. But when I looked at the YouTube accent, he just has like his pause, and he's like this face. Wow. Anyway. So yeah,
it's all right. We're kind of like a Black Mirror kind of a podcast where any of us can be wiped off the show at any time.
Yes.
And we're reminded at the beginning of every show that if you don't send money, all of us will go away. So.
Well, not you'd be the first.
I know.
I gotta. If I put my cut list, I gotta put you.
You got
shelf life. Yeah.
Lucas Shashek donated $20. I heard that when Brandon Hanna goes to a new city, he walks around downtown and calls the cops on every car parked at an expired meter.
Oh, so now you calling him a snitch? Damn,
That's
y'all
good.
savage.
That's a good one, Lucas. That's a good
Rocha, when he says that though, can you see like those old school like WWF like vignettes with him doing that?
Oh no, absolutely. He's an '80s heel.
That's what I'm saying.
To the nth degree.
Yes.
He's
Like,
IRS. He's absolutely one of those guys.
But that's the thing. I don't think he would snitch on people with their parking meters. I think he would go and apply to be a meter maid, and then would enjoy giving people.
Yes, that too. He told Jen Sturger and Frank he needed to leave this ridiculous interview because he wanted to go make a can of soup. It was my favorite.
I told you he's the Kurt Angle of fucking Schmoedown heels. I'm so excited. I love
the meter maid measuring how far your tire is from the curb and be like, is this 18 inch? Oh, nope, that's $75.
He's the guy walking around with the chalk and putting the chalk on the
I guarantee you, if Kate had brought like expired mandarin oranges for after the match, because I know her shtick is giving snacks to her competitors, he'd be like, those say they were old a day ago. Him having you thrown out for abuse for your children.
You know what's funny? He's not on my faction anymore.
No, I know, but that's probably why he got tired of his dry snitching. I don't blame you.
He did beat your boy, though. He did beat your boy, so.
My boy.
I like Saul, don't get me wrong. Saul
I know,
showed
but
up.
I'm just saying Saul showed up.
Saul showed up.
All I'm saying is anybody who says I shouldn't have given Saul a chance in that tournament should know that that's incorrect now.
I think. Oh, this is the thing, Kate. So there's an argument where people said, "Well, you know, he lost, so it was the bad move." I don't know if it was, because I think that if you don't give him that match, when's the next time he gets showcased anyway? So
Yana got a 32 donated $20.
Thank you.
Swag drip drip. Winston with the ace in the hole. Wait a minute. Excited for the HBO Max Gotham series. Also, Ben, you said my name wrong on your Twitch stream. Hey, Kate and Brett. The Outlaw. RB3. Swaggy Blurred Winston. Brandon Hanna is Schmoedown's Karen.
There it is.
Yes,
there it is.
Whoa. All I'm waiting for is for one thing to happen in the match, and all of a sudden Brandon Hanna is calling for the manager of the Schmoedown and how he needs a refund.
Why
and all
Brandon
sorts of
wanted
shit.
to be the manager, so he didn't have to ask to speak to the manager. He wanted to be the manager.
He's one of the main reasons I want live events back, because I can't tell you how much, like, when a heel gets booed and it goes throughout that entire the energy, it's like no other. Like when the founding fathers played Corruption, and I don't think Mike was even expecting it. Like the Corruption got booed to piss, Kaiser got booed to shit, and it was great. What was the craziest is the only time I think in the history of the Schmoedown you will ever see this, where Snyder came out and got cheered because he was playing Oyama, because Oyama was so hated at the time. Oyama would come out to cheers if it was today. I think he's turned the crowd around, but yeah, it's Brandon Hanna would get, if we were in like Chicago or New York, holy crap, it would be like one of those old school wrestlers coming in. It's the most heat I've ever seen somebody get. I'm excited for it. So, all right, let's see. That he's super unlikable. That's what you're supposed to be as a heel. Do you see what I'm saying now, John?
Yeah, totally. No, his energy is very unlikable, so I get it.
It's the truth. All right, what's
Coco knows what it's like to be super unlikable.
Troy donated $20.
Ask your mom about it, Brett.
Favorite horror film. It was the debut feature of J.A. Bayona, and I can't recommend it enough. Hopefully subtitles don't scare anyone away. It's Spanish. Always great to see the full crew. Hey, Brett.
Which is the one? Which is the one that they talked about?
I think it was the one Kate was talking about.
Yeah, what's it called?
The platform.
The platform?
What's it called? RB, do you see the thing?
I'm looking for it.
Oh, okay.
Right here, I can find it.
Everybody shut up until he finds it.
Carrie.
The orphanage.
The orphanage.
Oh,
That's
the
it.
orphanage is great.
Don't you remember Uno, Dos, Tres, Toca la Pret?
Is that what J.A. Bayona? Is that the first? He directed that? Holy shit! I didn't know that. I really loved
With the stairs and the
great movie, and Del Toro produced that. So that's that movie I loved. I loved Monster Calls, which was his second movie that I had seen.
Yes, that's another good one.
The Impossible.
He do The Impossible?
Yep, he did The Impossible. Yep.
Oh, shit. So that's 3 movies that I love from this guy. But that's why I was so pumped for when he did the Jurassic World. The opening of that movie, the second Jurassic World, is great, and then it's just a flying fart fest.
All the way through. He's doing.
I don't know if it's a flying fart fest. I think it's actually really great.
You're right. It didn't fly. It didn't even fly. It's just
you think the second movie's kind of great?
Yeah, it's like my second favorite Jurassic Park movie. Like,
the fuck out of here!
This is
Really?
the guy,
Yeah.
the guy giving a shit about
Wow,
Rocky
he's
IV.
coming for you today now, RB3. You thought you were immune.
Uh-oh. Cue the music. Cue the music. Here it is.
Against Mr. Robert Butler for saying he likes that movie. Shut the fuck up, Harloff. You still talking about Rocky IV? That movie's 65 fucking years old. It's older than Rocky. For Christ's sake. Come on. We got to talk about what? Look at Ben Goddard just staring off into the oblivion. Think about his next stream. Holy shit. Come on, man. Get those goddamn gardeners out of the way. I can't hear shit.
All right, I'm gonna take care of it. I'll be right back.
Winston, you have a water gun?
Yeah.
Huh? Oh, what you talking about? This is so.
Nerf.
It's one of those Nerf Star Wars blasters. I rated when Collider was like, bye. I was like, give me all your things. So I took this. that star back there. I took that.
Yeah,
there's a Darth Vader around here.
Holes in his closet somewhere. Give me all your things. What's next?
We've got some things that starting to get back to filming and stuff like that, and we had Colin Trevorrow was talking about it.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it's like to resume production, a whole bunch of exhaustive safety measures mandated by Universal have been employed, and Trevorrow recently caught up with Empire. I don't like that phrasing, like exhaustive, like oh my gosh, it's so exhaustive to keep everyone safe and healthy. Like
I get it, but it's bad choice of words.
Yeah.
I do get it though, because it's like when you're talking about, it's something that you talk about with your crew. I don't think you make it public. Like when you're talking about it, you're just like, because to be fair, when you're dealing with all of those people and the things that you have to do, if you've seen the guidelines, it is necessary. It is needed. It's a lot. And it's a lot of cost and there's a lot of stuff. So it could be overwhelming and exhaustive, but by saying that, you get the kind of
donated $100. Winston Marshall.
Wow.
The
Thank
manager
you.
of the year. Drip Drip.
Yes.
Ace Cabrera. Player of the year. Comeback player of the year. Star Wars and Inner Geekdom player of the year. Swag. Faction of the year. That's right, bitches. Know it. Love it.
Go ahead,
Drip,
Rocha.
drip, drip.
Rocha, go ahead, Rocha.
Get it off your chest. Come on, baby.
Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me right
Come
now?
on. Do you finally?
Let him.
It is
Let him.
arguable.
Let him
Of course
go.
it's arguable.
Go ahead, Rocha. Go ahead. So you don't think that any
Last
of
I checked, Andrew DiMolanta went all the way to the final. He was 0-2 in Star Wars. Last I checked, Barbarian is doing incredible work in Inner Geekdom so far. Last I checked, Dan Murrell and Ben Bateman gave the match of the year. Last I checked.
Is this slam poetry?
Last I checked,
No.
we beat Paul Oyama. I beat Paul Oyama, Winston's boy, last I checked. So you want to talk about manager of the year, it's Finstock. You want to talk about faction, it's Finstock Exchange. One player on a miracle run, luckily getting a final victory, does not constitute manager of the year, faction of the year.
You're not going to disrespect.
I'm going to do whatever I want to do.
You are not going to disrespect the greatest player that the Star Wars tournament saw by far. You want to talk
about disrespecting somebody?
Hey, guess who hit every single one of his 5-pointers?
If he had hit his 5-pointer, you're not even talking right now.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda.
You can't say by far.
Hey, Rocha, and if my auntie had balls, she'd be my uncle. Don't hit me with that.
I don't get involved. All right? I don't want any trans problems.
Don't hit me. Don't hit me with the what ifs. All right, he didn't hit his 5-pointers when it came down to an Aces hit every 5-pointer he had. Don't do this.
Don't overstate what happened here. Don't say by far. For God's sakes, it wasn't by far. He didn't whip DiMolanta. It was a lucky victory at the end. All respect to Ace. He did incredible work, beat all these kind of people. He was fantastic. But don't take away what DiMolanta.
I take it back. I take it back. I take it back. Brandon Hanna is not the greatest heel. It's this old man right here, yo. Old man yells at Cloud.
Let's go.
I'm yelling at you, fool.
Last I checked, drip indeed, yo.
Rocha, I got to ask you this though too, because this is something that's been on.
And I love my Latino brother Ace. I want to put that out there.
I was gonna say you're going after Hector Navarro now. Ace, like, come on, man. Like,
he's not Latino.
He's
That's Robert
Terry,
Smith. His
he
real
is
name
the
is
Terry
Robert
Crews
Jones.
of the Latino Schmoedown. Holy shit!
I texted Ace after the match, and I told him congratulations on the victory. Scratched and clawed for that victory.
You also called me and said, "Why do you hate the exchange so much?"
Yeah, I did. No, you called me, and I told you. You waited 3 seconds to start your 60-second thing, but whatever.
Let me say this, and I'll be off it, and that's fine.
Fartbox donated $20. Way too much Schmoedown talk in my SEN.
You got SEN in my Schmoedown. You got Schmoedown in my SEN.
it's too much. Why we're talking Schmoedown on the Schmoedown Entertainment Network? I just don't get it. I don't understand.
Last I checked, it's the Schmoedown Entertainment Network.
Last I checked.
The S stands for Schmoedown.
First of all,
Last I checked.
I'm trying to put it in you Hamilton fucker's speech.
Look, I'm also going to tell you right now, Rocha, you can't say last time that I check if you don't understand who Nipsey Hussle is. I'm going to tell you that as well.
Ooh.
I know who Nipsey Russell is, you motherfucker. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh.
All right, let's.
Well, last I checked, I just realized I had my shorts on backwards. Boom!
That's an old man yelling at the cloud, not me, son.
What's anyway? So we RB3. Can you mute everybody except Rocha for a second?
No.
Yeah, if you're able to, because everyone's talking over each other.
Am I in trouble?
No. I want to ask you a question because there was a post in the Facebook group yesterday that said they talked about all these members that could stay on the factions, right? And you have been beating the drum for the Finstock Exchange lately. There's no doubt about it. What's the possibility of you staying with Finstock at the end of the season?
I think it all depends on what happens in the next few matches. If they prepare me correctly for Ethan, if they prepare me correctly to defend the belts against corruption, then there's no reason I wouldn't want to stay with Finstock. But if I don't feel the love from the Finstock Exchange as we go into the next few matches, then I think that's a moment where I have to start taking a look at things and seeing where I should go and where I should take my talents. So I think that's legitimately how I feel. I love Tom. I love everybody in the Finstock Exchange. Really love the support I've been feeling, but I want to see how they come up and show up for a match against Ethan. Spent 2 hours yesterday with the Barbarian, so already that's positive stuff moving forward. And Dan and Riley have been great to offer up time. Haven't heard from Ben much. That's interesting. But overall, though, I think people are showing up. So we'll see how. I mean, if I show up against Ethan and I don't feel prepared, I don't feel fully ready because maybe they've let me down a little bit.
That's my prediction, by the way. That what you just said right there is the most telling thing out of all of it. It's going to be either you or Ben that stays offensive. There's no fucking chance that the two of you guys stay on the same faction. There's no chance.
Pac-Man Wayne donated $20. Hey guys, yesterday you talk about Lee Daniels and Airbay 3 mentioned the butler. I have enough funny story. When I used to go to my father barber as a kid, the story that based on the true man used to come there and he told us a lot different stories about his experience.
Oh.
I don't understand it.
Pac-Man Dwayne always comes in with the best stories.
He does. Yeah, good stories. Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Can I say one last thing?
Yes, go ahead.
As much as I just lost it there a little bit, you got to give respect to Winston. You did a fantastic job managing Ace, for sure. I didn't agree with some of your tactics in the final. I wouldn't have liked you getting all crazy and making it all about you during one of those. I would have been mad at you that. But you got your boy in the right frame of mind. You knew what to do to get Ace in the right frame of mind because he was having some rough rounds. So I'll give you some.
What? Me dancing and shit?
Yeah. That would have thrown me off.
But see, that's the whole thing, though. First of all, I know my players.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm giving you credit.
I appreciate it. I'm just saying, I appreciate it. I'm just saying that, again, I know specifically for Ace, the only thing that was getting him is that he was beating himself up. So I made it about me because I'll take the slings and arrows. You do your job. That's what a manager does.
Yep.
Gucci has the same tactic every single time when he manages, which it seems like works for some of the players. Some of you, it works. I've seen it in other matches where it doesn't necessarily. I feel like it is a matter of changing your tactics depending on who you're dealing with.
Yeah, absolutely.
We at Swag love dancing.
That's right. So
that's also true. We do love to dance.
I do have. There's watching guys on the online. It's very funny, but Gucci, especially. All right, you got this. You know what we got to do here. Take it home. Do it.
It was there.
Do me. Wait, do me.
I got to start running around screaming. I'm going to get exhausted doing what you do. You kidding me?
I gotta ask John though about the Finstock stuff. And Winston. Everyone's gonna have trouble just only keeping 3 players. But Rocha, today, what 3 would you want if you stayed on Finstock Exchange? What 3 would you want Gucci?
Who'd be the other 2?
Don't put me in that position unless you're willing to answer that question. Be yourself, Ben.
Wow.
I'll answer that question.
Okay,
go ahead,
question.
Ben, go ahead. Answer that question.
What 3 members of the den would you keep, and what 7 would you kick out?
Don't say that part. But what 3 would you right now?
You can't.
I have to wait till after the team. I will say if me and Rachel at least play Who's the Boss, then if me and Rachel beat the winner of Deep 13 final exam, and then if we beat Shazam, then that's 2, and then it's a toss up between probably Tom and Paul.
Ben Goddard, you just asked me today what 3 would you keep and what 7 would you kick out. Answer the question, not down the road.
Last I checked, you went on this ranting, asinine monologue about everything that's been happening so far.
Hamilton,
Schmoedown. So, Schmoedown, the den,
either way,
not in the hen house, and this fox. I don't know.
Yeah, so I did not ask Kate which 3 she would keep because then that's a lot of problems that she would. So all right, Yeah, let's move on. Let's finish some of these stories here, Ben. What else we got? And thank you again. Streamlabs.com/Schmoedown. A lot of great stuff. Thank you guys.
Probably I'd keep Brett.
Keep Brett. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I think you'll be able to draft them again. All right.
No, hottest ticket on the market.
He is undefeated. Last time that I checked, he's the only person in this room that's undefeated. So,
Got it, Ben.
Really, thank you, Winston.
I'm just throwing that out there.
The guy I lost to, Winston's boy, didn't even make it out of the second round. So.
Yeah, but then he used that. But yeah, he also used that as fuel to go and win an entire tournament. Don't come for me, Ben Goddard. You'll lose.
Don't worry. Have your team win one more match, and then we can meet up. Until then,
don't worry. We're gonna do that, and then when we embarrass your ass out there, bitch, I want you to buy me a bottle of Crown Royal Vanilla. That's what I want.
All right. Can we talk about the Rocky Four? Can we talk about Rocky Four again, guys? Remember?
That was it, Kristian. We got to all the news stories.
Okay, cool. All right, well let's move on to some of the questions then. Streamlabs.com/Schmoedown. This is you guys get your voice heard here. You can do it through either Super Chat, Streamlabs, or through the Schmobot. All right,
Justice League.
What happened to
the Justice League impression we were supposed to do? Do you want to do that?
Oh yeah,
we're gonna do those at 11:45. Thanks. Okay. You were talking to the Gardeners at the time when I made that announcement.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Right,
one match wins one tournament. All right, go ahead.
Alis, just wanted to say a quick thank you to Ben Goddard for never once removing his shirt during his stream.
PC donated $30. Schmoedown Twitch needs more emotes. Maybe a fanny pack? Dent for life. Hi, Kate.
PC.
That's good. Late great Nipsey. Our Slauson boy.
RP, me and PC.
Oh.
Yeah, me and PC know a lot about that. We're from that area.
$20. Hey, Brett, I brought something from IKEA yesterday. I'd what Kristian pay you to build stuff. I'll double it. I'm 6 seconds away from burning these chests down.
I love it. Love it.
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, we should be pretty close to making Twitch partner on the Schmoedown because like we are definitely averaging over 75 viewers. I think it's like a month's worth of stuff. So once we get that, we'll have unlimited availability for email.
Yeah, we're trying to do some more stuff on Twitch, but it's the tournaments, both the Inner Geekdom, the singles, and the teams are all going to be on YouTube. But what I will say, I don't think we've made this announcement yet. For at least the first 2 rounds of the singles tournament, we're going to have 4 matches airing per week.
Whoa.
So the week of there's 33 matches or something. So there's also going to be Rocha's match against Irwin is going I believe the first week that the tournament is going to be airing, and it'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be the matches, and then Rocha's match will be pay-per-view live on Friday night. So yeah.
So are we done with Twitch matches for now? Like, there's not going to be any more live.
So we're talking about doing some other content on Twitch right now. As far as and if I can get a couple I'm working on some other type events for Twitch, but right now actual league matches, nothing yet. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, so I saw Bibiani and they're saying because I mentioned the horror tournament was something that we're going to do.
Oh, that'd be dope.
But we're not going to be able to do it this year. But if we're going to do it maybe next year for sure.
That's a shame.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
Cool. Thank you, Ben Goddard, for not removing his shirt once during his streams. The ladies of the brigade truly appreciate it. Hi, Brett.
Hello.
Lucas is a duty head, so I hear Shashek wants to start some beef between the Bandit Brigade and Action Army. Let's go. Next live event, Bandit Brigade versus Army laser tag / paintball challenge. Loser has to sing the praises of the other team on their next stream. Who's in?
Did you guys watch the anybody see the Schmobates last night between Bibiani and Bateman? It's 3 questions. I will say this: I love that show. I think that show's good. I don't think that they should do Twitter polls to determine the winner. Bibiani and I love Bateman, but Bibiani clearly won that match. He won it. It's like problem is when you tweet it out, and if people don't watch it, they get to see what they think, and they're not watching the arguments. They should go to like a 3-judge person, and then plus the polls because it was a clear-cut victory for Bibiani. It was clear-cut. And if you watch that, Bibiani won the first 2 hands down, and I think that Bateman won the 3rd. But he had lost the first 2 and then won the 3rd. It was like, that's just people voting on Twitter. My personal opinion is I think they should change the system up. But it's a great show. It's a lot of fun. You should check it out. It's on Call to Action.
PLD. Wanted to thank Kristian for co-hosting Schmobates yesterday and always supporting C2A.
Well, there you go.
Pork Hub. Brett, you're not alone on liking Daddy's Home and Prometheus, but considering I've never seen a Daniel Day-Lewis or Monty Python film, I don't know how valid my opinions are.
What was that again? Say that again.
Brett, you're not alone in liking Daddy's Home or Prometheus. Okay. Yeah.
Well, I think that he's probably going to get more agreement with Prometheus. Yeah. That's right.
Tavishka Productions. It has been a hectic week for the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma with the SCOTUS decision. With tribes getting more public attention, when do you think we will see a public push for more Native representation in film, like we are seeing with women, etc.?
Great question.
If I had,
Go ahead.
I mean, if I had to guess, it's gonna be a while. I do think that if there was ever a time that we are seeing a big push from all sorts of groups that are typically underrepresented, but I think honestly, this sounds weird to say, but I think getting the name of the Washington football team changed is a massive step in the right direction, because to me that's a sign of respect, and I think that you have to at least get to that point. Like, I'm not trying to say that I am disrespectful, but I'm saying, you know what I mean, like, as a society we still have an issue, and so I think if you can get rid of that, I think that you'll see an explosion of it. But I think that that's like a starting point.
Yeah, a lot of people have been talking about that. Like, it's a lot of Native Americans have come out and said, like, it's great you changed the name, but what are you doing about helping what's going on the reservations?
Right. Yeah. Right.
What are you doing about what's going on in our communities? You know, and that's my girlfriend is half Native American. She's very tied into the community in Northern California that's Native American. She talks about that all the time. It's like, this is great cosmetic stuff, but what are we actually doing as a country to help what's going on there? So representation is great, but communities breed that representation possibility by fixing what's there.
Well, I agree with you. Sorry, I was just the last thing I was just going to say is that I agree with you, Rocha, because it's a similar thing that Black people are saying right now. It's like, it's great you're pulling all these Confederate statues, but what about the stuff we actually asked about? It's a similar
stuff we marched for.
Yeah, we got to promote more Indigenous and Native American creators too. You know, shout out to my boy Mato. I've done the Crazy Clown movie with him. You know, that I'm sure a lot of you have seen, and also he's a great rapper. So again, if we have more Black, more Indigenous people, and more people of color, like in front of the camera and behind the camera, we could get those stories told.
Yeah, Hector Navarro. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
All right, next question.
Moist Moose Knuckle. Hey, Ben. 156 Impulse. I'm excited for this DC Gotham show. I want to see the gritty Gotham. I want to see villains and mess. Hi, Kate. Hi, Brett. Hi, Rocha. Hi, Kristian. Hi, Winston. Yo, Winston, I literally freaked out when Ace won. The whole country of Guatemala is behind Ace. Sup, RB3?
Yeah, so
I love that.
Entire country.
So by the way, somebody had said in the comment, "Oh, I guess we're doing spoilers now." Yeah, we're treating this thing like a sport. So you have 24 hours to watch it. Yeah, it wasn't on pay-per-view. It was live. It was on Twitch. You had the ability to watch it. We're going to talk about it. It's like we have to promote these things and get them out there. And it's by holding it too long, it's like you have an opportunity to watch it. Either check it out or be okay, or go back and watch it. But that's I know that it's not airing on YouTube for like a little. It will air on YouTube the finals, but it's going to be a replay. You know, it's still on Twitch. You could watch it on Twitch and it's beyond there. But we've given people a 24-hour window to watch it, and then it's gloves off.
But the funny thing about that too is, like, if this was like literally the NBA finals, nobody's like, don't tell me that LeBron James won a title. What the hell? I didn't have time to watch it, bitch.
It's not a movie. It's not a movie. We're treating it like a sporting event, and we want to talk about the results of what. Did you see that game last night? Okay, we're gonna watch about it. Well, I didn't watch it. I didn't DVR it in time. You had time to watch it. It's live. So, all right, what's next?
D-Train with the next two. I forgot to say yesterday, but I want to say thanks to Kristian and everybody that was involved in the Star Wars tournament for giving us the best matches in history. Star Wars Tournament 2020 will go down in history for being the tournament that we needed during the pandemic, and at a time there was, for the moment, no sports. Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you. And that was kind of the idea behind it in general. And I always give, as much as he is a pain in the ass. Rocha really should be.
Video Drew donated $20. Why are you all up so early? This is outrageous. Winston, so proud of Ace. Kate, I am at your house right now. Rocha, the last I checked. That's IT. That's the whole message.
Video Drew. Appreciate that.
Video Drew is literally my neighbor. Video Drew, I actually put something on Nextdoor earlier this week. I'm hoping you saw that I was the #1 post of the day.
Oh,
Which
Did you really live near you?
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy.
Also,
Eric lives like 4 blocks away.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Video Drew. I finished Avatar, so we can do our Clone High show now.
Well, I'll give you know what we've been doing this at least once. A couple more names. So for the dungeon, who have no people announced just yet, Video Drew will be in the singles tournament. That was announced.
Hey, I figured that was gonna happen.
Yeah. So anyway, going back, Rocha really understood from what I was telling. I remember being in the car on the way back from work, calling Rocha about what I was trying to do with the league, and he was really one of the. He was the first person to really get it. And really understand what it could become, and he has been, and that's why as much as his ass says he's going to retire, he'll never retire because he's not going to get.
Gotta retire.
He won't retire. Mentally, right? But anyway, but so watching that Star Wars match and realizing kind of how far we came. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat, like calling the damn match. You know, it was pretty nuts. So I'm glad that you guys are getting that, and it's starting to kind of cross over. So
it's the great look, and you bring this up. It's the greatest tournament I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's the greatest tournament, and I think the Star Wars, by doing this tournament, you have now elevated the Star Wars division to compete legitimately with IG for attention. I think absolutely. The level of those questions, the nuance. I mean, the parking violation, madness. It's just incredible what these 5-pointers were.
Well, we're gonna have to, dude. We're gonna have to get Rebels and Clone Wars and Mandalorian next year.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to. All right. What's
like we were talking about Damon being Rushmore real quick. Sorry, before we go on. Like I think if he defends his belt against this against Ace after winning that tournament, and then I think he's on there.
So you telling me that on SEN we talk about Schmoedown matches, talk spoilers about matches? Damn, I guess I didn't get the memo to the people. Keep right, don't take. Say Rocha, why you ain't talk about Rocky Monday? You got everybody in trouble yesterday.
That wasn't my fault. Brett didn't bring it up. Ben didn't bring it up. I said talk about news. Ben said we were done with news. He didn't mention the Rocky.
Bibbs, you love those fucking Ewok movies. In the first, but they're not official canon. B, they are not even available on Disney Plus. So
holiday special or I riot.
Yeah, no, all 3 of those will not be asked. Because Ewok movies, you can't even find them. I like the first fucking Endor movie. It's really good, but you can't even find the things. You have to, like, rent them on VHS or find them on YouTube.
You gotta find them at a con.
Donated $20. Can we get Video Drew on SEN Live sometime?
Video, yes, sure. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna start reaching out to some more. Yeah, that's right. And then, Bibb says that they're on Amazon. Well, there you go. All right, well, there you go.
I was gonna say I had to watch that 78 piece of shit Lord of the Rings movie.
Tell you what, Bibbs, I'm glad you told me that, 'cause I was looking for that. I will watch.
What did you say? What did you say? Did you say that animated film is a piece of shit?
It's really not.
I'm going to come to your house, Ben Goddard. I'm gonna kick your knees.
Have you guys seen that animated Lord of the Rings?
Don't you dare
Not the Rankin Bass. Not the Rankin Bass one.
Hey, you have to remember, Ben, that was Rocha's first movie because, at that point he was, 1,000 years old and movies had just become like a mainstream thing. Just let him have this, okay? It's okay.
That's dry, not drip, drip. That joke is dry, son.
It was like a mixture of animation with like real people in there. It was so bad.
It is a little weird. The live action things are weird, but the Rankin Bass ones are great.
The Rankin, I thought that's what I was gonna watch, and then it was something else. I was like, oh,
what's the other animated Star Wars film, Bibbs? So there's another animated Star Wars film. No, that one's already in there.
That one's in there.
Well, the other animated Star Wars.
I'm not sure which one he's talking about. All right. Anyway, so what else is next there?
Teresa Sky. I just want to thank everybody involved in the Schmoedown. It's really helped me through a lot of people. It's really helped a lot of people through depressing times. It's crazy that everything is digital, and I'm probably most excited ever was about the matches. Also, Eric is the boss.
Yes.
Hi, Brett.
He really is.
We gotta find a way to get this dude an award or something.
I was gonna say he might actually be the greatest thing about the Schmoedown this year. I love everything that Ace did. I love all the drama. Like Eric's promos have been
great.
Insane.
Been great from the second his story when he was on the Let's Get Ready to Schmoedown podcast. Like there's stuff that he told that I didn't know. Like how I knew that he was kind of a fan, that he got himself. His story was pretty awesome. Like he got himself. He started watching the show and then really took to it, and then bought himself a ticket to the Rocha versus JTE event, and he said, okay, I could do something with this, and he shot footage from that night, and he cut a promo and he sent it to me, and I really liked it. I said, oh, good job, man. Can I use it? And he's like, yeah. So, and then he just kept doing it. And I was like, and he caught my eye on it, and then he saw Janine at a screening. And then recognized her as Janine the Machine and started talking to her. And Janine invited him to a taping. And when he came to the taping, he was like, "Oh yeah, you guys cutting those promos." And then that's how he started cutting trailers for us first. And I would put him through like a trial period. I was like, "This guy's fucking phenomenal," because he understood what I wanted. He understood the sports feel of it. He understood the WWE feel of it. His eye and his ear for music is just out of control.
His music is so
he's
good.
so good. He understands. He knows. I hardly ever have to give this fucking guy notes ever.
Dude, to this day, like just from the tournament, watching the Laura Kelly Ace promo gave me chills every single time.
Well, but I do also want to give props to the people who have cut trailers before him.
Aaron, sure.
Well, not just Aaron, RB3.
RB3
cut a ton. RB3 and Christian Ruvacamba was the first.
Right.
Christian Ruvacamba really set the mode. And I shouldn't say that. He was not the first. The first was both Aaron and Jonathan Voitko were the first to kind of start to set, because I knew what I wanted to do, and then they had that vision, and then it was a lot for Aaron to do, and then Ruvacamba was really, really solid at it, and he just didn't give a shit about the Schmoedown. So eventually, he just started to like, he didn't really care about it
And
as
he'll
much.
let you know about it too. Yeah.
And but RB3 was he got it too, but there was just, he took over, and RB3 was doing so much that when Eric came along, man, it just was the perfect fit, and now he's the full editor. So
Latinos get the job.
What's next?
And I'm very glad he's not playing, because that dude knows a lot about movies. Very good competitor for corruption.
Oh my God! I've never disagreed with anybody more in my life than Christian Vilstrup's comment. That is, there's been comments that have been made over the years I've been doing this. I've never disagreed with a comment more. I love the promos, but the music is not great. What? They fit the mood of the promo, sure, but as music, it's almost unlistenable. That is a hot take, my friend.
From that comment.
I couldn't disagree with anything more than that right now.
That's the coolest take I've ever heard.
Really bad take, but hey, it's
not
your
liking
take.
Rogue One.
It's your take. All right, what's next?
Tavishka production. My nephew told me about some memes that portray 2020 as a Jumanji game with different event cards, i.e., March was pandemic card, then Murder Wasp, etc. What are some other 2020 Jumanji event cards you would suggest?
I don't even want to get into it.
Toilet paper dash.
Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. There you go. Yeah, that's it. All right.
All right, I'm just checking each Schmoebot for the Justice League one. Trevor Fast. Hello, everyone. I was wondering if I could call in sometime today and pitch you a book and 2 movies I've been writing this week.
Who's talking? What's that?
Trevor Fast wants to call in and pitch you some movies.
Well, we're not going to.
You can't do that. You can't do that, because if you call in and you pitch, and you happen to have an element of some of our projects down the road,
you can't do that's first. That's first. The second is I can't greenlight anything.
My thought was like, what is Christian gonna do? He's gonna be like, sure, okay, you can put it on Twitch. I don't know what to tell you.
This fall from Schmoedown Entertainment Network.
Well, to go back to Tavishka, who put in that donation there too. What else could you do inside of those cards? I just don't want to get. It's like 20. It sucks. 2020 sucks.
And that's also like I've been seeing that a lot, like the Jumanji stuff. But it's like it's funny to kind of say, but it's also real life where we're having like Black Lives Matter protests, and how many people worldwide have died from a pandemic. So I feel like I'm not trying to be that guy, but it just trivialized what's actually going on in the world. That's like some serious, life-threatening things.
Yeah. I mean,
the Murder Wasp is funny, but
toilet paper is a good. That's a good call there too. Because things that are popping in my mind, I'm like, I don't want to even bring that up. I don't want to talk about that. Like that's the tough. It's a great question. It's a great question, but
we're sorry, Tavishka.
Yes. Yes.
There's just a card where you just have to go cry in the corner for a month and a half, right?
I was gonna say there's a card that says depression nap and you lose a turn.
Yeah, exactly.
Kate, I was gonna say there's probably a card for the parents. It's like your kids are now at home indefinitely card. And you're just like,
Yes, there's a card that says I drink every night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can we let Brett say something? Let's let Brett say a word.
Yeah, Brett, go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm just holding in a fart. That's why I keep muting myself because I'm like, but that's my take on 2020.
Oh, thank you.
Holding it apart.
How about, so wait, you're telling me
2020 is not holding that.
hold on. Are you telling me you don't like this song? You kidding me?
Oh, I love this.
That's a great song.
Next season, it all changes. It's an entire different landscape in the movie Trivia Schmoedown.
We are coming with the fire.
That sounds like you need amoxicillin there, Rocha.
We are Shazam.
I'm here to claim my title now. I'm here, the king that wears the crown. You better back down.
You're going to see the greatest ascension in the history of the Schmoedown.
I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all. I'm the greatest of all. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all. I'm the greatest of all.
Let's play.
And that's not even
that?
putting in the edits of like when the beats are hitting and like what clips he's showing.
Oh, it's great.
Of like
That's-
all these
that's
players
the
getting
season-
hyped. It's so good.
That's the
God,
season 7 promo, Winston.
yeah.
That's the which one?
Season 7 promo.
Oh,
Incredible
that's the
promo.
season 7 one.
Yeah, it
Okay,
opened- it
good.
opened-
Don't come after my boy Eric. Don't come after my boy.
So good. All right. He didn't. He, no. To be fair to that comment, he didn't come after him. He just didn't like the music. It's also my right to say I disagree with the take.
Yeah.
So what's next?
Tim Cascubo, I'm all in on the GCPD show. Gotham became just a bad Batman prequel. I want to see the real street level and police investigating Batman's rogues gallery. Kristian, would you consider doing a Schmoedown bracketology show for the singles tournament?
Maybe it's a great idea. I think that what I have really, really enjoyed, and I think a lot of people have enjoyed too, is the chemistry between Jen Sturger and Brad Gilmore. Yeah. Their sports background, their playfulness of everything too, and their knowledge of the game, I think works really well. So having them break down the full tournament once it's announced, which will be very soon, by the way, because we just finalized the matches, which I'm very excited about. Yeah, we will. Well, and I guess I think everybody knows this already too. Rocha's playing Irwin, and then the winner of that plays Merle. So whoever the champion is will not be in the tournament. If Dan is not in the tournament, he will have the #1 spot, and then whoever is also not in the tournament will have that #2 spot. And that's there's going to be places that those 3 guys kind of rotate. But what it does mean, and I will say this, is that Sabrina Ramirez right now is on hold for the Finstock Exchange. If Dan and Rocha are both in the tournament, then Sabrina will not be in the tournament. But if only Dan or Rocha is in the tournament, then Sabrina will be in the tournament, because the Finstock Exchange 4 people at the moment are Mark Riley, who we announced, the Barbarian, also announced, Mark Riley, the Barbarian, and then it would be either John Rocha or Merle, or both John Rocha or Merle, or one of those 2 guys and Sabrina Ramirez, if that makes sense. So those are all the
Interesting. So
So
no
the
Ben
last two-
Bateman.
So the last
Bateman is not, because he's a #1 contender match,
That's
so
right.
he's sitting it out. Yeah,
So the last 2 spots are between Rocha, Merle, and Sabrina.
that's correct.
Got it.
All right, what's next?
Michael Rhett Dingus. Hey guys, just supporting. I finally had a fan league Star Wars match. Got a KO. Only missed 1. Thank you, guy, for coaching, especially Smets, Bateman, and Clark, and Kristian for the coaching session opportunity. Rocha, can't wait for ours. Hi, Brett and Kate.
Yeah, when's that happening, Kristian? I haven't gotten emails about it, and we're already in July, middle of July, or second week of July.
Yeah, but you're August, right? Isn't it? When
Oh, I thought it was July.
Oh wait, Jack will reach out. Jack will reach out.
Okay.
All right, what's next?
Suge Knight. Here to show love to all my favorite people. I love this Schmoedown community where I got to meet so many great people, making new friends, and making my 2 brothers from other mothers, Ferris and Justin. Thank you, Kristian, for what you have built. # Bandit Brigade.
Yeah, thank you, Suge. And you guys, it's really good. You know who they had on their show? Megan Sanborn.
I
The
saw
hot
that.
slapping
I'm
champion
so excited
donated
for that.
$20. No one is on my level. Bateman might be the master schmobaiter, but I had to defeat 20 people to become the hog slapping champ.
Nice.
Who's that?
Yeah. It's the hog slapping champ.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
I can't believe they got Megan. That's amazing.
Oh, so they reached out to me, and then I reached out to Megan, and she said she would do it. So if you guys don't know who Megan Sanborn is, she is the glue of the live events. Her and
hell yeah.
JP and Megan make the live events. JP's the guy who makes it happen. JP is the guy who he books the theater. He's a fucking badass, right? He's like one of my favorite people in the world. Megan is like the ground soldier. If you have ever gone to a live event, you have seen Megan kind of running the line there to when you come into the meet and greets and everything too, and she runs like the Q&As afterwards. I'm very interested in hearing her interview with these guys. So that's going to happen on the Let's Get Ready to Schmoedown podcast. Megan, I mean, if you've worked with Megan, you love Megan. So
yes, Megan's
she's my hero.
She's the best. All right, what's next?
Justin Square. So I asked the Cavemen vs. Astronauts question on Live at the Roxy, the Action Guys Call to Action, and Rocha's Q&A, and Cavemen were the landslide winner. New question: what are you more likely to survive, zombie apocalypse or alien invasion?
Alien invasion, because alien invasion, we don't know. Maybe they're super intelligent and then they decide they just want, all right, well, fuck it, we'll just leave these idiots to roam the earth. Zombies they're stupid. They eat everything.
Yeah. I kind of go zombies, because I feel like alien invasion, like they're already technologically superior to us.
How do you know that?
Well, they got here.
They got here. How do we know how they got here? They got dumped off. I mean, they're fucking idiots.
Just saying. I think the zombies, they walk slow. I'm fast.
There's a lot of them.
Some films they walk slow, and some films they walk fast.
Yeah. But the thing with aliens is that you probably have a finite number of aliens, but zombies, you get more zombies. Like after you get eaten by a zombie, you become a zombie. So it's like an endless fight with zombies.
Yeah.
Although I would say, RB3, that the universe apparently is infinite, so it could mean that numbers of aliens are also infinite. Oh.
I would just say if you had a choice, everybody make sure you have a black friend, because that ghetto ingenuity will save us all, no matter what the apocalypse is. Yeah. I'll tell you right now, if we got to fight zombies, I got like 50 weapons in this place that I can make up in like 2 seconds.
Well, that's the other thing is that I'd rather aliens, because if you can infiltrate and try to steal their fucking technology, and you can try to do something, at least you can fight them with weapons, as opposed to these stinky zombies. They don't give a shit. They just want to eat.
Also, I want Will Smith to yell, "Welcome to Earth." So I would kind of also prefer the alien invasion just for that.
Brett, come to Compton. I got you, bro.
All right,
see,
I'm there. I'm more there. And I'm actually pretty handy too. I don't have that ghetto thing that Winston was talking about, but it was a different kind of handy.
All right, what do you got next?
Okay, Marshall Weeks.
Brett.
I need Tony Sirico, who played Polly Walnuts, and Steve Van Zandt, who played Silvio, to be cast in Gotham PD series.
Oh yeah.
Good luck, Rocha, in your upcoming match. Looking forward to it. Horseman.
I would love to see Stevie Van Zandt. Tone, we don't know where the fucking bat is. He was here, and then he was gone. I don't know where he is. He was so good.
There was a bat here, and then he was gone. There was a bat, and he was gone.
Look, you weirdo fuck. All right, what's next?
Talk to your mother.
Do it for cash. Also watched Palm Springs last night. Enjoyable rom-com with a great twist on the Groundhog Day premise.
Yeah, I really liked it, man. I think that it's affected. I don't even necessarily. I guess you can call it a rom-com, but it's kind of it also reminded me of that same type of feel. What was the Trevorrow movie that people? Thank you.
That's a great movie.
It had that kind of vibe to it.
Nice.
Yeah.
RB's been studying, man. I like how
Trash Panda.
RB's just been living.
Respect it, RB.
It's just what he knows.
Let's do. Can we bring up those two impressions? Let's do those now, so we don't forget about those.
Of course. Okay. And people, by the way, we have over 800 people watching, but only 420 likes. Let's get to 500 before the end.
Get to that 500. Come on, you rats. All right.
I'm looking for the Schmoebot.
Yeah, there was two that two impressions that. If you want, Ben.
Justice League.
I got the
Justice League was one.
Oh, okay, you got the Justice League. I have the other one then. I have the drunk Brett and Richard talking about masks. So what's the Justice League one, RB3?
Justice League said, "Hi there, schmoes. Could we get Obama as Superman, Arnold as Batman, Chicago Kate as Wonder Woman, RB3 as Flash, drunk Brett as Green Lantern, and Irish Rocha as Green Arrow."
Okay. Hold on. Okay. All right. Super Friends assemble. We have a unprecedented emergency. We have an alien invasion and a zombie apocalypse happening at the same time. Batman, hit us with the logistics.
First of all, stop whining. All you do, we get it. You're perfect. You come from a different planet, and you're the fucking Boy Scout. Stop it. Everyone, listen to me. I have my inventions. I also have Whiskey and Lulu now. They're going to be my Batmobile. They're not bats, they're donkeys. So everybody here, run, fly, jump, do it. Come on, get up there and shake the villains and say, don't do this. And they say, why? And then you kill them.
Thank you.
Stop it.
Thank you, Batman. Wonder Woman, give us our battle tactics.
Yeah, we're gonna just take a bunch of deep dish and just launch them at them. I'm gonna pick up Frank Janish and just throw them. I think that will work probably. My tactic for the most part is be tall, be strong, and eat pizza.
Okay, that's wonderful. It's a great plan. The Flash, I need to know, you scouted before. What did you see out there on the battlefield?
Well, I really went out there looking for blue milk, but I couldn't find any. But, I can run super fast, and maybe that gives me energy or something. Touching converters.
Take me with you. Make me go fast and kill someone.
Green Lantern, you're our heavy artillery. What do you see?
I got bad news. I lost my ring. I don't have the ring.
That's your one job.
No, if you guys find the ring, let me know, and then I can do whatever that ring does, because I don't remember.
Okay, I don't remember other than Green Arrow, so Green Arrow, please tell me, what do you see out there?
Oh, I'm getting away from you fuckers. There's no fucking way we're living with you five trying to do something crazy. I'm using my arrows and shooting all these zombies in the head and getting the hell out of here. I'll tell you that much. Who put you in charge anyway, Soups? You big blue Boy Scout. Batman's right. You don't know what you're doing.
No, it's all good. I just call the meeting, but I let y'all do stuff. And whoever this last Justice League member is, who I don't remember your name, what is it that you did for us?
Yeah, that was it. You got everybody.
I thought Ben was involved. My bad.
Nope.
I thought Ben was.
I got off scot-free.
Okay, quick.
Christian.
Black Widow, because you're Russian, right? Go ahead. Tell us what you think
hello.
about
I
this.
scissor kick you in face, regardless of what happens.
And the second impression.
Brands and jump brands.
The second impression was what? Was Richard?
Drunk Brett and Richard talk about Richard's trying to get Drunk Brett to wear a mask.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Hey, buddy.
What?
Wait, I gotta tell you something, man. Fucking, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but you're in the middle of a fucking crowded place here, and your dick's hanging out, and you got no mask on. It's really offensive. I don't know what's more offensive, the fact that you get your dick out, or the fact that, you got your mask off. Put the fucking mask on, man.
Fine, I'll put a mask on my dick.
No. Jesus, look, not for nothing, man, but what you're doing at the moment, it's highly irregular.
Well, I don't put a mask on my face because it's slightly hard to breathe.
You look like a fucking cockatoo gone wild. Look at you.
But it mildly impairs my breathing, and it's a slight thing that I could do to help not kill people. So why would I want to do that?
Well, look, man, one time I shit in a helmet and buried it in the backyard, but I at least had a mask on when I did.
Well, shit in my mask, and then maybe I'll wear it.
This is fucking highly offensive. All right,
I'm putting on my Irish step dancing shoes in case another impression comes in for Rocha.
Okay.
And fun fact, of all the superheroes, I know nothing about Green Lantern.
All right, listen. So if you get for the next robot that comes in for Irish Rocha, Kate's gonna do a little Irish dance in the background. So there you go.
Let's get those. We gotta see that.
Right. So let's get to some more of these questions.
Trash Panda. Andy Samberg showed some nice dramatic range in Celeste and Jesse Forever.
Yeah, he did.
Really, the indie he did with Rashida Jones.
Yeah, he did. He was. The movie itself was just okay though. This was everything of what I liked with him, because he showed his. In that movie, he was serious, and he had a little bit of the goofiness, but I think it was a combination of kind of both. I don't know. I really liked what he did in this movie. I thought he was very likable in this film.
Nice. D-Train, this question is for Kate. Did you think Aaron Paul is not a good actor? I can see maybe outside of Breaking Bad, he doesn't have a lot of range, but inside of BB, we're talking about one of the most dramatic performances in TV history. There's a video on YouTube you can check out. The Breaking Bad cast is doing a reading for one of the episodes, and Aaron Paul deserves an Emmy for on that reading alone. The guy literally went from laughing to crying in seconds.
This is what I concede defeat on this. I will say that I think Aaron Paul does that one thing very well. But I don't, so I would concede defeat on that. Yeah, I don't think it's that he's not a good actor. I think that it's that there is the one thing he does.
Donated $20. This is for Irish Rocha and Kate.
Okay. There goes.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Thank you.
So, Irish Rocha, why don't you just tell us about the events of your day when you wake up in the morning, and like, as if Kate this is what happens when you
donated $20. Irish Rocha talking about why the Cowboys suck. Go Kate, go.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, all right. I'll take that one. Yeah, the Cowboys suck.
Damn it.
You're having a terrible quarterback who can barely get above 200 yards every game. That's what you've got there in the Cowboys. No wonder they don't want to pay him. They don't trust him. He's a fool. He's having COVID parties everywhere, for God's sakes. They got Ezekiel Elliott contracted with the COVID and the coronavirus. He's going to give Jerry Jones coronavirus, and that man's not young anymore. Plus, he's got a plastic face. That's why the Cowboys suck for sure. Our name may be terrible, but they're a terrible team. That's for damn sure. And another thing, Kate, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is have my morning constitution right there in the bathroom. Enjoy myself a little bit, get a little bit of coffee, and then get a little bit of stretching out, do a little run, lift a little bit of weights, and then have a little bit of breakfast. That's sure, have some eggs.
I think Kate just pulled
turkey sausage, and then have myself another constitution.
I think Kate just pulled a handshake.
Y'all, I think I just developed a crush on Kate. I don't know what just happened, but I think
keep going. Just let
keep dancing.
And then another thing I do is I get up and then I do the close.
Like seriously. Between the twerking the last 2 days and now this, I think I genuinely have a crush on Kate.
I think she's been flirting with you for the last 3 days.
I pour out my beer and I drink my beer.
No, Kate, no.
That's so good. What the hell is this Gardy?
But I was like, yeah, girl, twerk that ass. Twerk that ass. Twerk.
Let's get to. We have about 12 minutes to finish this stuff now.
Yeah.
So
Seth Bayless. I've been fan casting MCU X-Men, and I got Shia LaBeouf as Wolverine, John Boyega as Cyclops, Saoirse Ronan as Jean Grey, Timothy Chalamet as Nightcrawler, Taylor Russell as Storm, Chloe Grace Moretz as Rogue, Taye Diggs as Professor X, Sterling K. Brown as Magneto. I like that Magneto.
Ooh, that's
I like that Magneto.
Yeah.
Just real quick, did we make $1 million?
Close, 40.
Everyone actually pushed refund on their PayPal donations.
Quick question is with somebody that has a wife that's had 2 children. Did you pee yourself a little bit?
Oh,
good job. Good job.
No, but I'll definitely tell you my IUD hurts. There's no question.
Hello.
It hurts.
It is scratching it up. Yep.
Feel it.
Trash Panda.
Wait, hold on, Kate. I got to tell you, I went through a bunch of old pictures last night with my wife, and we found from the 2010 karaoke show, we found pictures of you like singing.
Are you serious? Do I look really calm?
Yes, you do.
No
yeah, you do. I got, and I actually have video. I have the video of you talking shit to Adam Harrington.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah, it's really good. So anyway, go ahead. Sorry, Ben.
Trash Panda, has the crew gotten around to watching Dave on Hulu yet? I know Winston liked it. Hardest I've laughed in years. Related note, highly recommend Lil Dicky's song from a few years ago called Molly with Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco.
Haven't seen it yet, but our buddy.
It's so good. $20. Can I get Irish Rocha plugging the upcoming Top 10 Jeopardy show over on the Top 10 Patreon?
Absolutely. Yeah, we've got a new show coming. It's called The Golden Ticket. It's for patrons to be a part of. We've got 62 people involved. It'll be 19 days. That's for sure. If you want to be part of the Patreon, go to patreon.com/the top10 there and go and sign up. And you get to compete. And if the winner gets to be on a show for the top 10 and count down their number as well. Number 10. There we go.
What I will tell you.
Me and Matt Nost.
To all the wonderful people who put in the donations to make that happen, thank you. For all those people who just saw those dances, and you fuckers still only have us at 485.
Come on!
You're atrocious. You're atrocious.
500 likes. Ben Goddard will take his shirt off at 500 likes.
I will not. No one wants to see that.
I will take my shirt off if you don't hit 500 likes. How about
There you
that?
go.
Speaking of Kate and Brett, don't forget today that their show is up on Patreon. Go to the SEN Live.
By the way, we have a guest today, Kristian. It's Winston Marshall.
Patreon.com/
Ben and Winston can take his shirt off.
It's the SEN Live Patreon. Go to join today, and $10 patrons will get that show. It is Kate and Brett and Winston. Winston will be on the show. All right, let's try to get to
Cheryl
more.
underscore Dick
That's a
underscore
good lighting though,
Pants
Winston.
donated $20.
Yo,
With the
okay.
Big Ten canceling its
Hey,
non-conference
okay,
games and
me.
the Ivy
Shit.
League canceling
I looked
all
at the
fall
back in a
sports.
minute.
I think it's
Push-ups
next
actually
domino
work.
effect.
Winston.
Also, here's to you, Kate. You are awesome.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Couldn't hear that again. Can you play that again? Over there?
Yeah, I could try. I could play it again.
Yeah.
I'm bad.
Cheryl Dick Pants.
Yeah. All right, let's.
Cheryl Dick Pants.
Kate's going to pass out.
1 second, y'all.
I don't know why I pitched this. I was like, there was something about that music playing. I'm like, oh my.
Oh, we hit the 5.
Phillies are right here.
Thank you. All right, let's.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Let's get. So we'll replay it when you're ready, RB3. But let's get.
Yeah,
Let's
tongue punch fart box. Nobody acknowledges the fact that
Cheryl underscore Dick underscore Pants donated $20. With the Big Ten canceling its non-conference games and the Ivy League canceling all fall sports, what do you think is next domino to fall? Also, here's to you, Kate. You are awesome.
baseball probably. I was
What
really.
about NBA? I think NBA.
Yeah, NBA.
Yeah,
pretty
so many
close.
people
Right.
are dropping out of that
Yeah,
Orlando
dude.
tournament.
Yeah, dude. It makes
Right.
no sense.
Yeah, NBA.
Yeah, NBA.
Yeah.
Okay, tongue punch fart box. Nobody acknowledges the fact that Batman will break a henchman's spine for loading a box of stolen goods into a truck. The guy's just trying to make some cash to feed his family. But when it comes to the Joker, Batman all of a sudden cares about due process.
Yo, that's my favorite sketch on SNL in the last few years is when Chance was on the show and they were over at Thanksgiving at the Waynes and they're like, "Hey, Batman's your boy, right? Can you tell him to stop breaking everybody's like breaking everybody's neck and hanging them upside down by their draws? Like that'd be real nice if you do that."
Dagan, hey crew, about to get hit by a tropical storm. Faye here in Vermont, so I'm preparing to stay inside and watch movies and TVs all weekend, hopefully with the power still on. What are some of your favorite weather-related disaster movies?
Twister.
Twister for sure.
Twister's
Yeah,
good.
Twister me too.
Twister's
Hurricane Heist is guilty good. Hurricane Heist is dumb fun.
I will throw Geostorm in that with Ben. That is guilty, terrible fun with Gerard Butler, but it's so good.
Does the Wizard of Oz count?
Oh yes, of course it does.
Yeah, man, that's a
Absolutely.
hurricane. Or tornado.
Volcano.
Crawl was kind of fun.
Crawl's
the
good.
alligator one
Crawl's
with
great.
the storm. I
That's
like
on
that.
Amazon Prime. Go watch it.
God,
Ben.
I forgot. Natural disaster season's coming up.
2012? Does 2012 count?
Does Contagion count?
I mean, it's a disaster movie. What's next?
Jenny Lawson donated $20.
Thank you, Jenny.
Kate, you are awesome. Go Dick.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jenny.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jenny Lawson.
Also, Irish Rocha.
Hold on, we got-
All right, Kate, we got to do this.
All right, I'll do the dancing this time. That's fine.
We have.
Yeah, I got a hard out at noon, y'all.
Okay.
Let's drop it. Look, if we don't get to it, I'll finish the rest of.
Okay, cool.
So let's get to it.
Yeah, D-Train. Thoughts on Midsommar? I thought it's one of the best horror movies in recent years. Even if you didn't like, you got to respect Ari Aster's direction. That guy is shaping up to
Bobby
be one
Mitchell
of the best horror
donated
directors moving
$20.
forward.
My wife and I watched Hamilton last night and absolutely loved it.
Oh, yes.
I've spent the day coming up with an acoustic cover of Wait For It instead of working.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
So I
Love to hear that.
When's your Last I Checked cover coming out?
Ooh, yeah, that's right. Last I checked.
Yeah, I see.
Adrian
D-Train,
Bailey.
well, but going back to D-Train. So So
Old Swinging Dick donated $20. Can't wait for the tournament, guys. Thanks for the endless entertainment during the hard times. Let's
you.
put some
Thank
likes
you.
on this video, you fuckers. Can
That's
we
right.
get Irish Rocha too? Just kidding.
we're not going to be able. There's going to be no more impressions.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So
Thanks, old swinging dick.
we have D-Train. Midsummer I still haven't checked out. I know Dorina loves it. I haven't seen it yet.
Can't do it. I can't do
All right,
it.
so the next one is Adrian Bailey.
Yes. Hey guys, nice to see John and Winston. Congrats, Winston, on becoming #1 contender for Star Wars. No question, just wanted to say hello. Hi to Ben, RB3, Kate, and Brett. Love you. Keep up the good work, SEN team, thanks.
That's awesome.
Better Call Maul. Do you think DC would ever make a Man of Steel sequel as a limited series starring Henry Cavill for HBO Max?
No way.
Not right now. Not today. Let's see how their series start to do, and if they start to have something along the lines like the kind of success, let's say, like Mandalorian is having for Disney Plus. Never say never, because that's something. If they get those kind of views, you could see that kind of crossover. But as of today, no.
Yeah. Where are we at? Ken Jack. I really like the Star Wars tournament on Twitch. I know you said next year you will use it again for rookies in Star Wars, but is there any plans to use it again this year? I'd really like to see some live singles tournament matches.
Not right now, not yet, but it's certainly a possibility. We're just we're still talking.
Yep. Better Call Maul. Oh, did Better Call Maul.
Flying Cow.
Flying Cow. You put the letter S in front of the word Hitman, and you get exactly my thoughts on Brandon Hanna. The character makes me think of a conservative talk show host, smug, convinced of his own superiority, and full of shit.
He's doing his job.
Tell us how you really feel.
He's doing his job. All right, Trash Panda.
I gotta shout out Winston. His pep talk song to Ace after missing that question in the first round got me emotional. You could tell Winston's whole heart went into the cheering his player up. Powerful moment.
Oh yeah, I think that was one. I said to Courtney, who's on our production team, because she's become like a big Winston fan, and I said, I was like, yeah, well, Winston's becoming as much of a star in this thing as Ace for their kind of their partnership. If he's Rocky, he's Mickey. So yeah, it's been fun to watch.
Yep. Ace, you're a bum. Forget that last question. Let's go.
Right.
Gabriel Axellian. X-Men Days of Future Past is now on Disney Plus, and I noticed that Jackman's ass, when he first goes back in time, is in full display. Does that show that Disney Plus has a double standard with respect to male versus female nudity?
That's
given the splash censorship. Thanks.
That's
big.
It's a really good question. What's the difference? Maybe it's because they got a lot of pushback from the Daryl Hannah stuff that they decided to just show it as it is. And maybe, they just happened to be the next note. Well, whose ass is next? Oh, it's Jackman. So just show the fucking thing.
Show's ass.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's a more than fair question. I think that it's something they probably have talked about.
Especially because they censored out cleavage. Like, it's one thing to censor out a bare ass. It's like then they did that Wizards of Waverly Place actress. Like she was like wearing like a V-neck or it's like crazy.
My guess is there's something probably in Hugh Jackman's contract that's like, I worked hard for this ass, so you gonna keep it in any rendition that gets aired.
That's
period.
Australia's ass.
Yeah,
that's Australia's ass.
It's a great question, though.
That was good, Joe.
I got a good one. I got one in at least.
Ben, go ahead and ask this last one, and then you can jump.
All right, Teresa Sky. I love Ace and his ability to hit ridiculous 5-pointers, but just so you know, the entire Czech Republic was rooting for Timolanta.
And thank you to Goddard. Oh, you're going to do one last one?
Yeah, I'll do this last one for Sir Lowdown, bro. Okay. Hey, all, happy Friday. Wanted to ask y'all, which Denis Villeneuve movie would you show to someone who's never seen a film of his? It was a tough call for me, but I chose Sicario because it's such a good movie and my top 10 of 2010s for sure. Thoughts?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a great one. My favorite is Arrival.
Yep, I'd have to go Arrival.
I'll go Arrival as well.
I'd go with Sicario. I love Blade Runner 2049, but I think Sicario is his most like accessible film with the action and Benicio del Toro and Emily Blunt.
The only reason why I didn't choose Sicario is because of the argument to that is that I don't think that everybody can handle all of that. I think it's very violent, and I love that movie. But I can say if I was going to show one to my wife, which she's seen one of them, which was Arrival, but that's also tough subject matter.
Yeah, it is.
All right, thank you, Ben. Get the hell out of here.
Later, guys.
Ben. So, thank you to Ben Goddard. We're going to finish up here, guys. Sir Lord Attenborough, thank you so much for that one. Michael Rhett Dingus, Kristian, you said you might add shows to. Wait, did Kristian say?
Al Beckworth donated $20. Just watched Greyhound starring Tom Hanks. It was great, fast-paced 90-minute movie. It's on Apple TV. Highly recommend. Have a good weekend.
Thank you. I didn't know it was 90 minutes. I'll definitely be watching that this weekend. We already planned on it. Did Kristian say he may add shows to Star Wars Division? May add shows? I don't know what that means.
The television shows? Like...
Oh, yeah, the show.
Mandalorian and...
Thank you. Yes. I'm excited and overwhelmed. Been studying nonstop for 6 months. If here goes a year studying just as hard. Would resistance be included? I think it would make it a lot harder, but better. I don't know yet. We don't know. That hasn't been decided. Matt Chapman, to be fair to Trevorrow, exhaustive doesn't mean the same thing as exhausting. It basically means done completely without cutting corners. Also, I love Kate Hybrid. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Ryan White, Kristian, all you need to do to defeat the aliens is create a virus using Windows 95 and plant it in the mothership. Plot holes we now realize in Independence Day. I think everybody realized that when it came out. Let's see. I think it's a lot of stuff. That I'm going to make sure that's everything inside of.
And do we get super chats?
I'm getting the super chats now, so don't do any more Streamlabs, ladies and gentlemen, unless you're doing this Schmoedown, obviously. But I'm going to be bringing up the remainders of super chats if there are any here today, and there are a few. First one is Gabby Max, announcer's voice, female porn star in Crank 2, #1 in our hearts. There you go. Nice, Kate. You're getting some love for that one. Helsing 7747. Could a manager challenge the remaining time of the speed round if a player doesn't have the full 60 seconds? In Andrew's case, the missing 3 seconds would have sent both players in overtime. No, there's no challenging. There's no challenging in that round. What we have decided to is that the clock will start after the first question is asked. That's going to happen starting from the Inner Geekdom finals. Haskell 420, is Hannah now the male version of Karen Chad Hannah? We brought that in there already. Arturo Haig Bottom. Question, which TV show do you guys still watch all the time, even though it's been off the air for some time? Mine is House. My wife watches Friends before we go to sleep, so I would probably put myself in there. You guys?
The Office.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince.
Parks and Rec.
The Wire.
It's a nice feel-good movie to go. Feel-good show to go to sleep. Yeah. Fresh Prince. Gabby Max with the last one. Wow, Kate, how often do you have to explain what you're doing in that room to your kids?
Perfect.
There's been some language to come out of my 5-year-old that I realize is because of me doing the show at home now.
All right, well, listen, that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. So I wanted to thank everybody, first of all, RB3 for putting this all together today. Thank you to RB3, Ben Goddard, John Rocha, Kate Mulligan, Winston Marshall, Brett Sheridan, and to you guys. Thank you to everybody who put in the wonderful donations today. Like I said, helps the show out, helps us tremendously. Don't forget, Brandon Hanna, Alex Damon today. Oh, and the other thing.
Trevor Fast donated $24.20.
Thank you, Trevor.
Thank you.
Midlife memoirs, 10 seconds to immortality.
I missed that one. We'll reread it on Monday there, Trevor, but thank you.
Thanks, Trevor.
So the other thing is we have a Clip-Outs channel for the Schmoedown. If we get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of this month, I'm going to release the John Rocha documentary to everybody, not just patrons. So subscribe today. It's really great. John, they put up the clip yesterday of the fourth round debacle at the draft. So, John, you'll love that channel. It's all old school like clips and moments, and it's great. It's really good. Frank Janish handling it over there. It's great. So go and check out you can find it on the homepage of this channel in the suggested box. Thank you guys to everybody, and have a great, wonderful weekend this weekend. Keep yourselves safe and wear your mask, you humps. All right, we'll see you. Bye.